I'll put it in sports terms why you got fired. You were fucking with O.J. too much. That's exactly why you were fired,
well,
man.
I don't know.
That's his buddy.
Yeah, it's his buddy.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got canned.
O.J.'s a good guy. I mean, he's not. Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score. Chow Ming Wu, who after the trial plans to attend Caltech. By the way, you can now purchase a bronze statue of the Juice for only $3,395. And for an even $5,000, you can buy one that Al Cowlings has kissed the ass of. O.J. Simpson's new fitness video was released this week, and hitting the shelves next week, Simpson's newest video, Dorf on Stalking. The crowd is torn. According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or treat. And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty. In other book news, Prince Charles released an autobiography in which he states that he never loved Princess Di and that his father pressured him to marry her. The book is entitled, Of Course O.J. Did It. I mean, come on. In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that. And O.J. announced this week that he's coming out with a new book called I Want to Tell You. And if it's successful, O.J. will work on yet another book entitled From Football to Prison, My 25 Years of Showering with Other Men. And finally, in honor of the 50th anniversary of their first publication, Random House will be releasing special commemorative issues of many Dr. Seuss classics. The first to hit the bookshelves will be Green Eggs and Ham and O.J. is Guilty. Judge Ito was interviewed this week by a local TV station in Los Angeles. Asked by the interviewer if it was appropriate for a supposedly impartial judge to be on TV with his case still pending, Ito said, maybe not, but how appropriate is it to kill your ex-wife? It was revealed today that O.J. Simpson told police that Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him up. He also claimed that she and Ron Goldman killed him. O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, we want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people. Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. Well, O.J. Simpson's lawyers stopped feuding this week, finally. The Dream Team, F. Lee Bailey and Robert Shapiro, were able to put aside their differences and express their admiration for each other after O.J. threatened to cut their heads off. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, sleepy truckers are responsible for 1,000 deaths a year. In second place, O.J. Simpson at 2 deaths a year. It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, "Hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know." Tomorrow, Judge Lance Ito will take O.J. and the jury on a tour of the now famous crime scene. For the jury, it will be their first look at the actual location. Of course, for O.J., it will be just a case of been there, done that. Judge Lance Ito was happy with the jurors' field trip to the crime scene last week. It went off without a hitch, said Ito. Not one murder. O.J.'s pal Al Cowlings now has a 1-900 number. For $2.99 a minute, Cowlings will tell callers that O.J. is innocent. And for $3.99 a minute, he'll try to do it without laughing. And this week, Simpson defense lawyers questioned witnesses about a half-melted container of ice cream found at the murder site. The Simpson defense has seized upon the ice cream for 2 reasons. 1, it may help fix the time of the murders, and 2, it was the only thing in the murder scene without any of O.J.'s blood on it. To illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well. We went... Was O.J. Simpson high on speed the night of the murders? Absolutely not, said defense attorney Johnny Cochran today. And a simple test of any of O.J.'s blood found at the crime scene will prove it. And O.J. pal Al Cowling said this week that in looking for the truth in the O.J. Simpson case, he sometimes talks to a picture of Nicole Brown Simpson, something that in the past would have gotten him killed by O.J. F. Lee Bailey said this week that if the defense only knew what Ron Goldman's last words were, they might be able to find the real killer. You know, if you ask me, Goldman's last words were probably, "Hey, you're O.J. Simpson." Oh no, O.J. has struck again. How about that? Not a good thing. And in court this week, Cato Kalin testified that O.J. Simpson did not appear angry before or after the period of his wife's murder. But Kalin admitted he could have been a touch edgy while he was actually murdering her. Might have been a... Hertz Rental Car Company announced this week that it will buy 520,000 vehicles, increasing its worldwide fleet 24%. In addition, they will try to find a new spokesman who won't kill his ex-wife. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." Testimony during the final week provided some spellbinding moments. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, "Hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat." And a new shocker in the O.J. Simpson trial. This afternoon, Judge Lance Ito dismissed yet another juror, a 45-year-old African-American male, for failing to tell the court that he had once worked for Hertz Rent-A-Car and that he had once held Nicole Brown Simpson's glasses while O.J. killed her. Dismissed Simpson juror Jeanette Harris revealed in interviews this week that the jury is torn by dissension and is already divided into 2 camps, those who think he is guilty and those who are really, really stupid. A bad week for the prosecution of the O.J. Simpson trial. Under intense cross-examination by defense lawyer Barry Scheck, LAPD crime expert Dennis Fung admitted that he may have contaminated the crime scene when he accidentally dropped a big bucket full of O.J.'s DNA. Our top story tonight, this week in the O.J. Simpson trial. After grisly photos of the murdered Nicole Brown Simpson were shown in court, O.J. turned his head away and wept. It was at that moment that he realized he would never be able to kill her again. Well, in a questionable move by the defense team this week, O.J. Simpson demonstrated how to stab two people at the same time. Remember 12 Angry Men, the classic courtroom drama? Well, the first film about the O.J. Simpson case is in the works. It's entitled 9 Angry Black People, 2 Scared Asians, and a White Guy Who Hasn't Spoken Since Rosa Lopez. Well, the trial of the century is over. Late yesterday, the fate of O.J. Simpson, the most famous murder suspect in United States history, was placed in the hands of the jurors. They must now decide whether to free him or get all their heads cut off.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was a broken apart by you.
Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California. Two hours after the verdict, LA police had their first solid lead in the hunt for the real killers. A new witness has come forward who saw 3 men fleeing the crime scene the night of the murders. Police have released this sketch and would like to hear from anyone who has seen these 3 individuals. On Tuesday at 1:15, the moment the Simpson verdict was delivered, Court TV scored its highest ratings ever. An hour later, the channel went out of business. Well, that covers the main developments in the O.J. Simpson case this week. And after all, other important things are going on in the world. Now more O.J. Simpson. When Simpson trial juror Gina Rodborough returned home this week, her little girls were delighted to have her back. And no wonder. She lets him get away with murder. Our top story tonight. Following his shocking acquittal 2 weeks ago, O.J. Simpson vowed never to rest until the real killers of Nicole Brown Simpson are brought to justice. And the manhunt continues. After initially vowing never to rest until his wife's killers are brought to justice, O.J. Simpson this week changed his pledge slightly. He now vows to have sex with hot-looking models. Meanwhile, this week, O.J. took girlfriend Paula Barbieri to see the erotic murder mystery Jade. Other moviegoers took the couple's presence in stride, though they did become uncomfortable when O.J. repeatedly shouted out, "You call that a stabbing? Simpson had been discussing marriage with girlfriend Paula Barbieri, but reportedly she has called the wedding off. Her fear was that if they married, she would be brutally murdered. And then someone would try to pin it on O.J. The L.A. District Attorney's Office has given Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden bonuses of over $10,000 for, quote, lengthy hard time duty, unquote, in the O.J. Simpson case. A spokesman for the DA said that the prosecutor's bonuses would have been even higher, except for the fact that they let a killer go free. According to a report out this week, O.J. Simpson is still extremely angry that Robert Shapiro began writing a book while he was defending the football legend. However, Simpson is extremely pleased that he got away with killing his wife and that waiter. A down-and-out O.J. Simpson, depressed that all of his money-making ideas have failed, has decided to go back to doing what he does best: killing people. In a surprise move, O.J. Simpson has offered to give an interview to CNN with, quote, absolutely no ground rules. But interviewers Greta Van Susteren and Roger Cossack have asked for one: don't kill us. In sworn testimony this week, Paula Barbieri admitted that she had broken up with O.J. Simpson the very night Nicole Brown Simpson was killed. Boy, that had to be a tough day for O.J., huh? First he gets dumped by his girlfriend, then Colombian hitmen kill his wife. Man, that's... You gotta... In an effort to raise money for his enormous legal bills, O.J. Simpson this week began marketing a video which attempts to prove his innocence. Should the tape not sell, Simpson has a backup idea: his very own video of the actual murders themselves. This week on NBC's Dateline, 3 members of the Simpson jury explained their not guilty votes and argued that if Simpson had killed his wife, there should have been blood stains all over his gate, front door, and light switches. Also this week, Simpson friend Al Cowlings released his video, How to Get Blood Stains Off Gates, Front Doors, and Light Switches. In his civil court deposition this week, O.J. Simpson denied under oath that he ever punched, kicked, or slapped his ex-wife Nicole. Oh, great. As if O.J. isn't busy enough tracking down the real killers, now he's got to track down the real wife beater, too. This guy is crazy. And in Brentwood, O.J. himself was spotted manning a lemonade stand with his daughter Sydney. Asked by reporters why sales were so poor, O.J. replied, "Beats me," and then he went back to cutting lemons with a giant knife. A new development in the O.J. Simpson civil trial this week. According to sworn testimony, Nicole Brown Simpson had told her therapist that she was afraid of getting beaten by O.J. Simpson. Asked why he didn't report this earlier, the therapist said, "I was afraid of getting beaten by O.J. Simpson." I said getting beaten, and that may have hurt a little. According to a Senate Committee on Violence, Denise Brown has done more to bring attention to the cause of battered women than any other person. Well, almost any other person. Once again, O.J. gets the short shrift. In Los Angeles this week, Lyle and Eric Menendez were found guilty of first-degree murder. So, to review California law, it is killing your wife, legal. Killing your parents, illegal. A shocking new development in the O.J. Simpson case. Late this afternoon, a high-ranking official in the Los Angeles Police Department admitted to Geraldo Rivera that the police did conspire to frame O.J. Simpson for the murders of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman. However, they called the conspiracy off when they got to the murder scene and found that O.J. really did do it. While in England, where he spoke at Oxford University, Simpson had defended actor Marlon Brando's criticism of Hollywood Jews. Later, from his island hideaway, Brando sent O.J. a telegram which read, "You're not helping." Arriving back in the U.S. after his week in London, O.J. Simpson was asked by a reporter why he hadn't spent Mother's Day with his children. A visibly annoyed Simpson replied, "Idiot, I didn't spend Mother's Day with my kids because I killed their mother." Well, more O.J. Simpson news. On Friday, the Juice officially endorsed Bill Clinton for president, adding, quote, "I'd like to help him any way I can." To which the president replied, "Well, there is one thing." In Los Angeles this week, the defense suffered a setback in the second O.J. trial when Simpson was ordered to turn over a secret videotape which lawyers say contains proof of his guilt. What's on the tape? The first O.J. trial. Finally this week, lawyers in the new O.J. Simpson trial actually found a prospective juror who claims to know nothing about O.J. Simpson, the murders, or the first trial, and who told the court, quote, "I don't even know when it started or ended." Unfortunately, the man had to be disqualified when it was learned that he had been a juror in the first O.J. trial. During a recent interview on 2020, longtime O.J. Simpson friend Robert Kardashian said he now believes Simpson may be guilty, though he did add that had he believed O.J. was guilty at the time, he never would have agreed to hide his bloody clothes and knife. At his civil trial in Los Angeles this week, O.J. Simpson attorneys began their case with an attack on Nicole Brown Simpson's character. Outraged Brown family lawyers responded, quote, "Nicole is a victim. No matter what she did, she certainly did not cut her own throat." To which Simpson's attorneys replied, "On the contrary, that is precisely what we intend to prove." At the Simpson civil trial this week, O.J. and Fred Goldman got into an explosive shouting match. Mr. Goldman bellowed at O.J., "Don't give me that damn look," while O.J. shouted back, "I wasn't even looking at you. You're just mad because I killed your son." Against the Jets last week, Buffalo Bills running back Thurman Thomas broke O.J. Simpson's career rushing record, and the week before, he surpassed Simpson in career touchdowns. Next up for Thomas, an attempt to kill 3 people at once. O.J. Simpson was in a different courtroom this week, attempting to regain custody of his 2 children. In order to prove to the court how much he loves his kids, O.J. pointed out, quote, "Hey, they're still alive, aren't they?" This week in Los Angeles civil court, an FBI expert testified that shoe prints left by the killer exactly matched shoes belonging to O.J. Simpson. In response, O.J. stood up and exclaimed, "Wait a minute. Wait a doggone minute. I just figured it out. The real killer is me." According to researchers in Australia, koala bears have fingerprints so close to those of human beings that they could easily be mistaken by police at the scene of a crime. It should be noted, however, that the research was funded by O.J. Simpson. So, our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies. This week at the O.J. Simpson civil trial, the focus shifted from the defendant to the alleged character flaws of Nicole Brown Simpson. Attorney for O.J. hammered away at her lifestyle, citing sexual promiscuity, drug use, and the fact that she married a double murderer. Meanwhile, Simpson defense attorney Robert Baker argued that a dark spot in a crime scene photo was a, quote, mystery shoe print, suggesting that there were actually 2 killers. O.J. hopes this will support his theory that he did not act alone. In dramatic testimony this week at a civil trial, O.J. Simpson said he didn't commit suicide only because, quote, my mother told me you don't go to heaven if you kill yourself. Oddly, his mother did say, quote, it's okay to kill other people. In a unanimous verdict this week, a Santa Monica jury found O.J. Simpson liable for the wrongful deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, awarding the plaintiffs damages of $8.5 million. Reacting to the verdict, Simpson insisted that he has nowhere near that amount of money and that his only remaining asset is 30 pairs of Brune Mali shoes. The announcement of the verdict came toward the end of President Clinton's annual State of the Union address, and to many observers, completely overshadowed the event. Even the president was distracted during his speech, waiting to hear exactly how much it costs to kill your wife. Our top story tonight, this week at the civil trial of O.J. Simpson, the jury, which had earlier found him liable in the deaths of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson, this week tacked on an additional $25 million in punitive damages. On hearing the news, Simpson declared, quote, this is far from over. Asked to clarify that statement, O.J. said, quote, I'm going to kill more people. What do you think I meant? The first place in Weekend Update's Most Romantic Valentine contest goes to David Delafera of Kearney, New Jersey. Yesterday, Mr. Delafera, who works as a fireman here in the city, climbed the ladder of a fire truck up to the third-floor office window of his girlfriend, Alexandra. There, with a dozen roses and a wedding ring, he proposed to her in front of all her co-workers. Congratulations, David. And coming in last place for the third year in a row, O.J. Simpson. At a book signing in New York this week, Fred Goldman once again offered to forget the millions owed to him by O.J. Simpson if he would simply admit to the Brentwood murders. A visibly annoyed O.J. responded, why in the world would I do that when I have no intention of paying you anyway? More bad news for O.J. This week, HarperCollins reached an agreement with the Brown family to publish his late wife's diary. Especially troublesome to Simpson is this final entry. Dear Diary, I have to run now because O.J. is here to murder me. And also the guy who returned my glasses. I think he might murder him, too. Also this week, a California newspaper revealed that O.J. Simpson was awarded custody of his children mainly because a court-ordered psychological test showed that he is a loving father. It should be noted, however, that the same test also showed that he was a loving husband. According to O.J. Simpson's niece, Terry Baker, when O.J.'s mother, Eunice Simpson, first heard about the slaying of Nicole Brown, she exclaimed, he did it. Reached for comment, O.J. said, my mom was just guessing. I hadn't even told her yet. Meanwhile, O.J. himself may have some explaining to do. For months, he has denied hiding financial assets, including valuable sports mementos, from the Brown and Goldman families. But earlier today, Simpson pal A.C. Cowlings was stopped as he tried to leave the country. In the backseat of his Bronco, police found O.J.'s Heisman Trophy, disguised with a tiny fake beard. More bad news for O.J. Simpson. This week, a Los Angeles court ordered him to turn over his Heisman Trophy to the Goldman family. In addition, the same court may order Simpson to surrender a coffee mug inscribed, World's Greatest Husband. More followed from the recent conviction of British au pair Louise Woodward on murder charges. This week, her attorney, Barry Scheck, lashed out at the legal system, saying, quote, what kind of sick society do we live in where an innocent girl is sent to prison, while a double murderer like O.J. Simpson goes free? Kind of a... In a statement with profound legal implications, the FBI announced this week that for the first time, its experts can now identify an individual with 100% accuracy through his DNA. And really, when you think about it, the timing could not have been better, said former football great O.J. Simpson. He was good on the gridiron. Oh, there's a phone call here. Here, I have a phone. Let me see now. Who would this be? Hello?
Hey, Norm, what's up? It's OJ.
OJ! Hey! Hi, OJ. Hey, what have you been up to?
I just got back from the movie.
Oh, the movie. What'd you say?
Beautiful girls.
Oh, yeah. Who's in that again?
Oh, you know, Uma Thurman, Lauren Harley, Mira Sorvino, Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell's in Beautiful Girls?
I know, Norm. I was nonplussed myself.
Anyway there, Juice. Hey, how's it going with the, the manhunt there for the killers?
Oh, Norm, don't ask.
Not good, huh?
That is an understatement. I'm no closer to finding the real killers today than I was when I started. It's like they vanished into thin air.
Oh, well, give it time there, OJ. You know, it can't be that bad.
Oh, believe me, it is that bad. Sometimes I feel like I might as well shut down the whole investigation.
Oh, come on now. Hey, did anything ever come out of that lead you picked up there about the shadowy figure leaving the crime scene?
No, you're not going to believe it. It turns out that was me.
Well, so I guess that's a dead end, huh?
Yeah.
Well, hey, how about that guy that was seen running back to your house by limo driver Alan Parks?
Well, guess what? That turns out that was me also.
Oh. Well, what are you going to do, huh?
Nothing you can do. Sometimes you just have to laugh. Anyway, Norm, while I have you here, I was going to ask you a favor.
Oh, yeah, sure, Juice. What is it?
I produced a video dealing with some of the inconsistencies in the evidence, and I've been having trouble getting the 800 number out on the airwaves.
Really? I'll put it out.
Okay, that would be great. It's 1-800-555-0165.
Oh, okay. That's 1-800-555-0165?
Right. 1-800-555-0165.
Okay, 1-800-555-0165. Okay. Hey, what's the video cost there, OJ? Was it like $100?
Oh, no, it's $29.95.
$29.95? Good Lord, that's nothing.
Yeah, well...
You're practically giving it away.
We're trying to price it so that the average person can afford to buy it.
Well, OJ, the question's not can the average person afford to buy it. The question is, can the average person afford not to buy it?
Well, we think it's a quality video.
Well, the price is certainly right. Hey, let me ask you a favor, OJ. Can I give out that number one more time?
Sure.
Okay, then. That's 1-800-555-0165.
Right. Okay, Norm, I'm going to let you go.
Okay, Juice. Hey, take care, buddy. O.J. Simpson, everybody. O.J. Simpson. O.J. the Juice. Well, in a sworn deposition this week, O.J. Simpson claimed that he never, ever beat, choked, or hit his ex-wife with a closed or open fist. Luckily for O.J., lawyers forgot to ask if he'd ever cut her head off.
Poor Mrs. Lane.
He asked me to watch Chris Farley before he died. He said, you got to come to the after party at SNL, the one he did right before he died. So I go to the after party, and Chris.
Norm or Chris?
Well, me
Who
and
died?
Norm. Me and
Sorry, Joby's still on the phone.
me and Norm are watching Chris Farley. Okay, Norm has to go talk to somebody. He goes, watch Farley. Farley disappears into a bathroom with Andy Dick for 5 minutes. Comes out in 5 minutes, smiling, whatever. Norm goes back and goes, how's it going? I go, well, I got bad news. Farley disappeared into a bathroom with Andy Dick. And I got to tell you, man, there's only two reasons a guy goes into a bathroom with Andy Dick. Neither one is good. And Norm went, holy fuck, I hope he's high.
Let me hear this.
I had to help watch. I had to help watch. Okay. So this is how fast Norm is, though. This is a testament to Norm's wit. So I'm at the party, and Norm is talking to somebody, and I'm watching.
Do you have a normal knife?
I'm on coke. I'm coked up. So I see Farley disappear into a bathroom with Andy Dick. Okay, him and Andy go into a bathroom. Yeah. They come out 5 minutes later, they giggling. Norm goes over to me. He goes,
"The red."
What's going on with Chris?"
Give it to me.
Bad news, bro. He goes, "What?" I go,
"Give me the knife."
He went to a bathroom with alcohol. I said, "There's only two reasons a man goes into a bathroom with Andy Dick, and neither one of them's good." And Norm looked at me without missing a beat and said, "Holy fuck, I hope he's high."
Do you get it? I never heard that.
Holy fuck, I hope he's high.
Norm is so fucking funny, dude.
Good news he was high.
Whoever sent that, I love you. That is so good.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
He had the complexion of wet cardboard. I've never seen a man look more unhealthy.
Dude, I went to a strip club with him in Toronto.
Me?
We shot a movie in Toronto. We had chicks hanging.
But you remind me of a guy that's good at fucking.
I love it.
Fucking and sucking.
He also was really drawn to touchy subjects. So it's like a brutal murder. Yeah.
He got pleasure in being dangerous.
Yeah. How many anal rape jokes did we hear? You know, how many,
including, I must bring it up, the Swedish German.
That became
Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
That became a thing. Yeah, and actually, Conan and I were talking about this yesterday.
I had forgotten about this, and of course, you said that you sometimes see it online. And I'm like, okay, well, let's hear about that because you know me, I'm in the nose cone of the rocket.
Right.
I'm at the top of the pyramid.
Right. Your ivory tower. There's a lot of clouds underneath your window.
I'm up there counting my gold coins. I can't be concerned with what you're doing down in the moat.
No, people. I mean, every weekly, someone will just arbitrarily just call me a Swedish German. And it was
explain what that means.
I know. Well, I mean, I know they're Norm fans because Norm would do, and Norm was also like kind of a traditionalist. So he did the, talk to the talk show host, but then there's this guy over here, this one. Let's make fun of him.
Yeah.
And a lot of his jokes, like I say, he was drawn to the things that you're not supposed to say. So a lot of his jokes were about being queer, gay porno. Mm-hmm. This fellow over here, he enjoys the gay porno. Mm-hmm. And that became a thing with me. And at one point, he was talking about your ethnicity, you're Irish, I'm Scottish, what are you? And I said, I'm Swedish German. And he, for some reason, was like, really? And I was like, yeah, well, why would I make that up?
I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German? Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause
it's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German. But that then later became a euphemism for gay. Yeah. The old prospector comes to town and wants a prostitute, but no, there's no prostitutes. There's just Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
And I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
It's outrageous because it's Norm. It's outrageous because it's on a talk show.
And it's you.
And it's me.
Yeah.
But and I think that some people think that I was somehow, and somebody else, a friend of mine pointed out, there's nothing, you can't do anything with that.
Right.
There's nothing to do with that when Norm MacDonald says, this fellow over here, when it would go to hey, Conan, have you met his wife?
But then you did say, at least I had my dignity, and says, you were raped.
Yeah, he goes to rape,
Yeah.
And
my God.
Got to be all secret. Nobody. I say nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people know about it. How do you figure that? He says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the feller that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Well, at least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was
you weren't gay.
Right. No, but that's not beside the point.
You're a rape.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
And I said, but I never was that crazy about that because I would think, I'm sitting there and we're in a studio and we're laughing about it now. And it is the point of that joke is this fella's a queer.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very old-fashioned, retrograde joke that we just don't do anymore.
Right.
And some jokes that we don't do anymore, we don't do them anymore because they shouldn't be done.
Right.
And we shouldn't have been doing them in the first place. So I was always thinking about the gay people that work on the Conan O'Brien show. Yeah. How do I look them in the face after being there and hardy-harring about the punchline being that I'm a gay fella? And we're thinking about the people in my family who are gay. If they're going to watch that, how are they going to think when the real bottom line, what's funny about that is that I was supposedly a homosexual. And that which to me, I always was it's like saying, this fellow over here, he doesn't want anybody to know it, but he's a secret Jew. His kitchen's full of matzahs. It's you would go what are you talking about? What is that? How is that funny?
My kitchen's full of
I know,
matzahs.
but you're not a secret. But you know what I mean? It made me uncomfortable, not because I was afraid that people would think I was gay, because if I was gay, everybody would know that I was gay. It made me uncomfortable because there were people out there in the audience whom I love and care about who would be left thinking what's so terrible about me that I am a joke, that I'm a punchline, that how I am and who I am is a punchline to a joke. But that was when you're the kind of comic that Norm is, and you are going after any uncomfortable subject, and you're like, oh, let me get in there and roam around and really get my elbows.
Right.
It's gonna be ugly sometimes.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Yes.
He also really enjoyed being around other comedians. That's where he seemed to really come alive. I mean, he was a stand-up, but he also really liked being in a a situation with other comedians. And I've had people say to me, did it bother you? Because like I said, I would be the butt of the joke sometime, and I would say no, that's him. That's practically him showing love to me.
Yeah.
He would not insult me if he thought that I, was somehow inferior.
It's like being insulted by Rickles.
Yeah. It's he's inviting me to play when he's making fun of me. Will Ferrell is definitely one.
Really happy to see you, Will.
So good to see you.
So good to see everyone. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like when my friends are on. I like when Andy Daly's on.
Oh, shit, mother...
Will Arnett's a lot of fun.
You did a lot to promote Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, including you retweeted a picture of Miley Cyrus's underwear, wearing her underwear. Well, I think we have the photo here.
Yeah, she tweeted that out, and I figured, you know, if you retweet a person's crotch, maybe it'll go viral.
Right. So just because...
But like in historical terms on the Conan show, Scott Thompson was a wonderful guest. He used to come on all the Boulder's great. She hasn't been on in ages, though.
Everybody, it's my little sister, Stacy.
Hi there, Stacy. It's really great to see you again.
Thanks a lot, Conan. It's awesome to see you again.
Wait, what? What was wait?
This has been Wait What?
Our guest tonight, the always controversial and hysterically funny Andy Dick. And we will be talking to Andy momentarily, but first, my opening remarks with my trusty sidekick, Adam Egget. Where's Adam Egget? Well, this is odd, folks, and I must say bewildering to me. When I usually look 2 degrees to my right, who do I see but my trusty sidekick, Adam Egget? Well, tonight, no such luck. Wouldn't you know it, huh? Well, this was bound to happen sooner or later. Well, I'm sure he'll be here any second now. It's live. I know what I'll do, what I always do. When I'm in trouble, I read the newspaper. Maybe we'll find out something interesting. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll read the obituaries. At my age, I'm always refreshing to find out that I'm not in them. It's a joke Milton Berle used to do. So, as usual, the Bard of Avon, William Shakespeare, summed it up best when he wrote, "Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more." Well, let us hear, then, from some of this month's most notably deceased strutters and fretters. See who we got here. Ah, Margaret Thatcher, yes, the Iron Lady. She passed over a month ago, but here she is, still in the New York Times obituaries. But I think if you were to open that coffin, you'd find out pretty quickly that she was not made of iron. I don't know if you've ever dug up a month-old corpse, but I haven't. I needed the money. I couldn't sell my blood at the time, or ever, because I have Hep C. But, I didn't have the money, and I wasn't like some people I know who used to jerk off punks for $10 a man. God damn it, it didn't work. I miss Adam Egget. Where the hell is He wouldn't be with Andy Dick, would he? Wait a minute here. Adam Egget is a dirty, filthy alcoholic. And Andy Dick is clean and sober. Where is my trusty sidekick, Adam Egget? Have you seen him?
The last I saw him, he was in the bathroom with Andy Dick.
In the bathroom with Andy Dick! In the bathroom with Andy Dick! That's the worst possible news. Come on. Jeez. When you ask where a person is, the last thing you want to hear is he's in the bathroom with Andy Dick. Let's find out. Hey, guys! Listen, I know what's going on in there. You're sucking each other's hot cocks, and you're doing cocaine.
Norm!
Yes, Norm, let me in. What's going on? Andy, why are you naked?
Yeah, Andy, why are you naked?
I think the more important question is, why are you guys not naked?
Well, wait a minute, that's a least important question. That's not an important question at all.
I would agree.
Okay, listen, we gotta start the show. We gotta get out of here, come on.
Wait, paint this real quick. Paint this.
What? We got no time for that. Come on, Adam.
He likes it.
Adam, come on!
And come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no. I need someone like you.
The last movie Chris Farley ever did was Dirty Work. So I'm in the movie with him. And right after Dirty Work, right before he passed away, he hosted Saturday Night Live. So Norm was still doing Weekend Update. So Norm called me up and said, "Listen, Farley's out of control with coke. Come to the party after the show because you got to help me watch him." Like that's how bad he was. I was watching.
You had to help watch.
I had to help watch him. Okay, so this is how fast Norm is, though. This is a testament to Norm's wit. So I'm at the party and Norm is talking to somebody, and I'm watching Chris. I'm on coke. I'm coked up. So I see Farley disappear into a bathroom with Andy Dick.
Oh, boy.
Okay, him and Andy go into a bathroom.
Yeah.
They come out 5 minutes later, like giggling. Norm comes over to me and goes, "What's going on with Chris?" I go, "Bad news, bro." He goes, "What?" I go, "He went into a bathroom with Andy Dick." I said, "There's only 2 reasons a man goes into a bathroom with Andy Dick, and neither one of them's good." And Norm looked at me without missing a beat and said, "Holy fuck, I hope he's high."
You see Norm say that?
He went, "Holy fuck, I hope he's high."
That's a great impression of Norm.
Holding his stomach. Good news, he was high.
Adam, I got to talk to you. You've been working with all these guys. You've been working with Norm probably. You've been working for him with him for a long time.
Yeah, but Normie. No, I think what he's bringing up was when me and Norm, when we did Billy Madison, I said I would tell.
Yeah.
The story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the first time you guys worked together in a movie, right?
Yeah. Movie. I mean, it was the first.
That was our first movie.
Hey, we're right here, guys. We're right here.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. When I graduated first grade, all my father did was tell me to get a job. Hey, you want to feed that donkey some beer? Get it all messed up?
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Norm and I did the movie, and Norm is we didn't know each other's acting style. Yeah.
Right.
So me and Norm are best friends in the movie, and we're out at the pool. We're doing a pool scene. I'm Billy Madison, of course. So old Billy's gonna talk to you and Frank.
I played Frank.
You're gonna turn and clarify everything.
I get nervous with Normie behind me, but
Man, why did I have so many drinks I can't remember? What's today?
October?
It's Nudie Magazine Day!
So anyway, I'm doing a scene with Norm at the pool, and I tell him, I say my line. I think I did it very well. And then I'm like, let me see how Norm, ping pongs this line back. and so there was a little bit of a delay, and I was like, old Norm likes to take his time.
Yeah.
And then
maybe it's an acting technique, right?
Maybe he's going deep for this. Yeah, right. And then I'm waiting a little longer, and I'm like, wow, he's really milking this one. And then a few more seconds, I noticed old Norm was sleeping. Right? Remember that?
I got
Yes,
the scar.
sir.
You fell.
Oh, man, Billy, I just thought of the funniest thing. Billy? Where's Billy?
He's in school, man.
Yeah.
Asleep while the camera was rolling.
Well, they wanted me to play a drunk.
That's right. That's right.
And so I said, you got some booze?
No,
but also he called me Frank, and in my mind I was thinking, who the is Frank?
That's right.
You know what I realized with that movie as I was doing it? Because the movie was grown-ups, and I, in the movie, kept going, like, every time they were at a scene, I kept walking up and going, hey, guys, can I be in it?
Oh, yeah, it was at the beginning and end of every scene.
So I realized that halfway through, wait a minute.
Damn, no, it was the best. You killed the hardest at read-through, too.
This feels like a guy trying to get in a movie. It was like I had shown up on the set. In real life, I'm a famous actor, Norm MacDonald, but in this movie, I play an unknown man named Geezer. Hey, Lenny, you old son of a bee sting. I heard you were in town. You remember who I am, right?
Yeah. The guy from on Golden Pond, right?
On Golden Pond. You still got it. It's Geezer. Well, Geezer, I play Geezer, who is me, actually. Geezer's just an old chunk of coal that, they're going to have a 4th of July fireworks on the lake, on a barge. Can I at least go with you guys to that and watch it, It'll be like the old days.
We used to do that.
Well, hey, if we didn't, we should start. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Geezer's always like the odd man out. Hey, Lenny, You guys are all eating here. How come nobody phoned me?
Well, no, we just kind of ended up
You
here.
make me sound like I'm some wicked witch of Milan.
I
need sewn up for I do good things. I do charity for children.
Yes.
But hey, is that your wife sitting on the crapper?
Yes.
He wants to be a diamond someday, just like everybody. So he says to the judge, if it lasts for 6 years, it isn't really a temporary restraining order, is it? Whoa, hold on. The idea was Fred and Adam were talking, and instead of just having actors, just make it all guys that Sandler knows and loves, I hope. He loves me, because I love him. Hey, it's me, Geezer. I'm your husband's best friend. It's so fun to be around these guys, because Sandler is, like, hysterically funny. Chris Rock, David Spade, Schneider, Kevin James is incredibly funny. So being around these guys, it's hard. It's very hard for me to be the funniest of all. But I do it. I manage. Man, Hilliard's daughter is looking incredible.
Oh, yeah. The blonde or the brunette?
The hot one.
Ooh. Finally a man shows up. You like what you see?
Ooh. Yes.
You're gonna have to catch it.
Well, I gotta go. I hate to leave you, but I'll chase him to the end of the earth. What people don't understand about movies is you have to memorize literally hundreds of words and then say them in a row. Lenny, I didn't get to hang out with you all week.
Oh, Geezer, we're hanging out now, aren't we? I'm sorry, man.
You know, it's an interesting thing. You say sorry. You know sorry is not in the Bible? Please forgive me. That's the way they say it in the Bible.
That's cool. That's an interesting fact.
Completely true, except for the Bible part. So it's fun to be able to improvise because it's so hard to remember words in the order they're supposed to be. Hey, what about they're going to have a 4th of July firework. Listen, it's not as hard. It's not as hard as coal mining, but it's actually harder than coal mining. But I like to say it's not as hard as coal mining because it makes me sound like a man of the people. It's actually much harder than coal mining. Those coal miners, man. Huh. What do you call a kangaroo wearing sunglasses? Beats me. Usually on movies, you have to work with actors, and that's not that fun. But when you work with your old buddies, that's the coolest, yeah. Since when do you guys stand in lines? Don't you remember what you used to do without me all the time?
Backdoor shuffle. Backdoor shuffle.
Yeah.
We really gonna do this?
Backdoor shuffle?
Hey, come on. Should I come along?
No, you just stay, keep our place in line.
I'll stay here.
Okay,
I'll stay here then.
Ladies and gentlemen, a sad moment in grown-ups history. We're saying goodbye to Norm MacDonald.
Thank you very much.
Never the grace to the shortest water.
Thank you, Dennis.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm whole enough to stand in this world, so I stay.
Too magic to win. I'll play you over and over.
Just go to huluplus.com/norm. What? I'm trying to speed up through this. Right now, sign up for huluplus.com.
Norm MacDonald's podcast copy?
/norm.
/norm? You don't get any money from Norm.
This isn't supposed to be. It's supposed to be /Bill. /Bill. They said Norm. Well, you know what? I like Norm MacDonald. Let's give him the money for the week.
I didn't even know he had a podcast.
Oh yeah, dude, Norm MacDonald.
Hey, welcome to the show. This is a podcast, but it's on the TV also. And I'm here with my trusty sidekick, Adam Egas.
That's right. How are you, Norm?
Good. How are you, Adam?
Fine. Just
excellent.
Fine. Yeah.
Did you see him on Conan telling that moth joke?
No.
Yeah, you got to see it.
No, I haven't.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, all right?
You are correct.
Dude, you know how many comics out there don't give a fuck, but kind of still do? You have to kind of still do to eat. That guy
Norm
truly
doesn't. He's so fucking funny.
One of my best opening monologue jokes ever. Did you ever see? Remember that whole thing when he was doing Weekend Update and they told him to make it funnier. So he didn't. He just was more Norm the next week. So eventually, of course, he gets fired. So then he goes off into the Hollywood world. He's got a TV show or a hit movie or some shit. So now they bring him back to guest host on SNL. And I'm going to butcher this, but he kind of came out. He's like, people know I got fired from this show. So now they got me back hosting, which means either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks. That's what he opened up with. And I know that wasn't approved. Sorry for the bad Norm. I'll have Jay Moore on to make up for it.
That was a great Norm.
I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So, yeah, I'm funny compared to, you'll see later. Okay, so let's recap. The bad news is I'm still not funny. The good news is the show blows.
Norm, listening to Norm on Stern or anything, any podcast, listening to, I don't know if you remember when Charles Grodin would do Letterman, and just knowing he's going on there, that it was always a fucking great show.
Oh, yeah,
That's
and
what
people didn't get that he was fucking around.
Yeah. That's
amazing.
how Norm is anytime. If Norm's the guest, I'm fucking listening.
I was at a party with a friend, and so I noticed you first, and you returned my gaze, knew how to quench my thirst. You took me to that room like a dream come true. The dance you performed was just for me and you. Kisses on the neck, then you work your way down. Let yourself go for me all around town, seductively.
For obvious reasons, we lost Norm MacDonald this week, which was just, I had no idea that he was even sick. And he's a guy that I knew a little bit. I was definitely friendly with him. If we saw each other, we said hello and we shot the shit, but it wasn't like someone that I talked to on the phone or anything. And I was such a huge fan of his, and I would just always end up running into him. And he just always had that smile on his face. Like as you talk to him, he would have that smile. Just a really great, warm guy. And I remember I was trying to think what Norm's story to tell you. This one isn't necessarily funny. It was just sort of random. I went out to go see Bill Cosby in concert right before all the bullshit happened out in Pasadena. And he played this theater out there, which interestingly enough was where they had the 25th anniversary of Motown celebration, which is the first place Michael Jackson publicly did the moonwalk. I saw Bill Cosby at that theater, and I remember they had it all set up where they almost built him like a little living room. He had like an Archie Bunker type chair, a little square rug, and then like a side table where he put his water, and he just came walking out, and there was the mic. There was no mic stand. It was just sitting on the chair, and he just came out. He kind of walked a little bent over, came walking out, waved to everybody, sat down, picked up the mic, and for like almost 2 hours, just, hour and a half, just killed. Just fucking killed. Had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Masterclass of stand-up, right? So I leave with my lovely wife, and I go out front, and who's standing there is Norm MacDonald. He was like, hey, Bill, hey, how you doing? I talked. It was like, no, what's going on? I was so psyched that he knew my name and all of that stuff, and I think I had met him before. And then we just stood there talking about comedy and how amazing it was to see Bill Cosby and how good he still was. Like I said, this was before all the bullshit happened. And my admiration for the guys, it went even higher. That I understood why I was there, but I thought Norm was so good that he didn't need to be there, and he was still there, still trying to learn and everything. And I was thinking like, wow, this is why this guy is so fucking amazing. And he's just was somebody that You couldn't just watch one video of him. Like, you know, I was saying to Verzi how, like, guys like Ric Flair, Norm MacDonald, there's a few people, if you click on their videos, it's like, say goodbye to the next 2 hours of your life, because everything that they did is so interesting and so different and so funny. And one of my favorite Norm MacDonald things that he ever did, you know, because so many people like pretend that they don't give a fuck, you know, both in my business and in other businesses. You got I don't give a fuck. Hey, you know me, I don't give a fuck. You know, those people that advertise them. Like, that guy clearly, in the best way, didn't give a fuck. He really cared about people and stuff, but like he did what he wanted to do. And when he was on SNL, how big a gig that was, because there was so few channels, the internet hadn't blown up yet, and even with basic cable and everything, I mean, it was still, if you were on Saturday Night Live and you were doing Weekend Update, it was one of the most coveted gigs a comedian could have, and you were part of this lineage of, you know, at that point it was, you know, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, right on through to Dennis Miller's reign when he did it. And, you know, did Colin Quinn come after? I think Colin came after, but it was always just like the best of the best comics that they had doing it, and continued on with Tina Fey and all of them. And no one's walking away from that job. And if some suit at NBC tells you they don't like the jokes you're doing and be funnier, you know, you're shaking in your, I'd be like, oh, fuck, you know, I'm going to lose this big gig. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to piss these people off or whatever. I guess he was doing all those OJ jokes, and somebody, I forget how the story went. There was somebody there that knew OJ or something and was telling Norm to back off and move on to something else. So what does Norm do? He just doubles down and he just does even more OJ jokes, which is like, you know, the balls that took to do that. And he ended up losing the gig. He got fired. And people loved him, and he was fucking hilarious, but he, you know, he didn't back down to the big fucking guy over there, and he ended up losing the gig. So, you know, as luck would have it, I think it was Dirty Work, came out like a year and a half later or so. So he has to promote it, and he's on the press thing. So Lauren has him back and has him host the show. And I remember he went out there, and his opening joke, he just comes out. And he was just like, yeah, you know, something like this. Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, I actually got fired from this show about a year and a half ago because they said I wasn't funny. And now here I am. I'm hosting the show. So that means one of two things. Either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks. And then he had that big shit-eating grin on his face, and he started laughing. And then he proceeded to do a bunch of OJ jokes.
Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later.
And it was just like that fucking thing about him. And the whole time, I just felt the whole time when people were fucking with him or whatever and trying to take what he had, he always just still had that smile on his face, and he just still did exactly what he wanted to do. And I got so much respect for him. And I feel so fortunate that I got to see him live. So I remember, oh my God, I saw him right after 9/11. The Aspen after 9/11. Aspen Comedy Festival was this big fucking festival that was always a nightmare to get in and out of. Every year it would snow and people would get stuck in Denver, or you get snowed in, you couldn't get out. It was a fucking nightmare. And then as a comedian, you had to perform. It was like a mile higher than fucking Denver. And no one could breathe. And you're performing in front of all these super fucking rich people in front of industry. And you just go up and you would eat your fucking balls. And you're like, why did I come out here? And I remember I saw Joe Rogan do a full set that I still remember. And then I saw Norm MacDonald. It was at the same theater. And I remember Norm came out, and he was doing bits on racial profiling and all of this stuff. I'm not going to butcher the guy's bits, but I remember just watching that full set, and I was like, this guy is one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen in my life. And I thought that every time I saw him. And I don't know, it was a pleasure to know the guy, even on a little level. Just a massive, massive, massive loss to not have him around, and especially now with all of this stupid fucking cancel culture horseshit that is going on, which has way, way, way overstepped its bounds, as it always happens. No matter who's behind it, it always ends up, starting off with something that makes sense, and then that becomes the overreach, and then it just becomes like, hey, is it me, or did you literally become what the fuck you were trying to stop? And we, I don't know, as a comedian, really needed a guy like Norm out there to be eviscerating it and making fun of it and still doing what the fuck you want to do. So if there's any other young comics out there, if you want to see how it's done, watch that guy, because he was the real deal. All right? So once again, rest in peace to the great Norm MacDonald. Just truly, without a doubt, one of the greatest stand-up comedians I ever saw in my life. And just such a great guy. And it's just so sad that he won't be around anymore. But I actually got off the plane in a better mood from just watching literally the beauty of who he was and his work. When I got off the plane, I was actually like, I don't know, there's something about him. I just thought he understood life. Just a really warm guy. God damn it. It's always those guys that go. So there's your lesson. Don't be nice. You'll live forever. All right.
Talk about this new movie called Dirty Work.
Dirty Work.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to do it.
I read the synopsis of it. It sounds like a lot of fun. Two guys who just can't seem to get it together, right?
Yeah, we can't get it together, so the only thing we're good at is getting back at people. Yeah. So we open a revenge for hire business.
Yeah. I like this. Yeah, this is good.
So if you need revenge, you see, you'd come to me and I'd figure out a revenge. Let's suppose there was somebody that was getting, was a mean, then you...
Treating you unfairly.
Exactly.
I would come to you and say, I want revenge.
Yes, and I'd figure out a way to get you revenge.
Well, you do this in the movie to Don Rickles, don't you?
Yeah, Don Rickles was great.
Well, what did he do to deserve some revenge?
He was just Don Rickles.
What I love is that I read that you wrote insults for him. He didn't like them at all. He wrote his own insults.
Yeah, he just did. We just said, do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can't.
And he just insulted us. And it was great because it's funny when he insults you and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like he'll just go up to you and go, listen, why don't you go to Alaska and live in a shed with a rake? And you go, what does that mean? What is that?
You're talking to the right person. He thinks he loves Don Rickles.
Great.
Oh, God.
So you like acting, huh? So this could be the beginning of a whole new career for you.
Yeah.
Just like Chevy left Saturday Night Live, went out to Hollywood, became a big movie star.
Well, acting is tough. I mean, one of the toughest things is you don't have your own name. Like, my name's Norm, as you well know.
Sure.
And my character's name in the movie was Mitch, you see? So in the scenes, like, a guy would say to me, hey, we better get going, Mitch. And I go, huh? And then they go, cut,
Yeah, right. You're not used to this.
Right. So then the next time they go, let's get going, man. We got to get going, Mitch. And I go, yes, me, Mitch. Let's get going. I'm Mitch. And then they go, cut.
And Bob Saget directed this.
Yeah, well, you know, there's bad news and everything.
How is young Saget? Is
He's actually
there,
right
hey,
over
Bob,
there.
hey, come on over here.
Yeah, Bob Saget.
Yes, you do.
Stand over there. Stand over there, man.
Guys,
Nice to see you two guys survived making this movie together.
Well,
Bob's a great man. Bob's a great man.
and a good woman. We've been together for a while.
And now he's a big movie director.
He's a big movie director.
If it's a big movie.
Tell him what Rickles said to you when he first met you about what Scorsese.
Oh, Rickles actually said, Bob, you're very, very tall. You're very tall. Martin's very short man. That was it.
No, remember Scorsese met you when he first heard him? He said, I'll do it.
I don't remember.
He said, you know, Rickles meets him and he goes, you know, because he did Casino with Martin Scorsese. Sure. And he goes, I just talked to Martin and I told him you were my next director. And he went, ah!
Oh, that's He left me a message. He called me at my office and he said, I don't understand. He left this message. He said, I hit 2 in pound and I hit 3 in pound. I don't know how your Jew spaceship works. He says, call me Saget. I miss you. Don Rickles. It's very funny.
How is he as an actor?
He's really good.
Yeah? Big
He
future?
is. Yeah, I think the man is incredibly talented. I'm not just saying that because we have a movie opening on June 12th. No, he's in full commitment. He says he wouldn't answer to, you know, the name Mitch, but he did.
Yeah.
Not to me, but to other people.
Well, you gave it 100%, huh?
Now, can this guy become a romantic leading man in the movies?
Yeah, he turns me on. No, I think, all kidding aside, I've talked to a lot of
ladies,
a lot of ladies, and they all said they find this man very sexy, and they think his...
What else do you need?
His eyes. They love his eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
Oh, your beautiful eyes. They twinkle.
And he's got those Tom Selleck dimple things happening.
Oh, yeah. This is the new Tom Selleck, absolutely.
He's got the little wavy hair thing happening. Yeah.
I think you're getting to Kathy Lee.
Oh, yeah, baby.
All right, so it opens on June 12th,
June 12th.
All right, guys.
They say revenge is sweet. Bob Saget and Norm MacDonald are hoping it is also funny. Saget makes his feature film directorial debut. MacDonald his writing and starring debut in Dirty Work. Basically, two guys who've never done this job before. It's an irreverent comedy that proves getting even can lead to odd situations.
They're nice cars. These are luxury automobiles. I got a whole place. They're fully loaded.
They're loaded with dead hookers.
Either. They're seeing things. Don't shoot this. This is not part of the commercial.
If some jerk making your life miserable, you want revenge, call 555-0187 and let us do your dirty work.
Sort of like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, a little bit, but there's no ghost.
Just hookers and trunks.
Hookers and trunks.
Which is good programming in the morning for your family.
You've never done this before. Nervous at all?
Hookers and trunks, or you mean the movie thing?
Big funny directorial debut, comedy, you starring role.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
No,
but,
you're not.
No, I'm not because I take the Xanax.
3-4 cases a week, isn't it?
No, I
sell it to him.
Do you?
No.
Tell me about the movie.
Actually, he's a very, very funny man.
The movie?
Oh, I'm sorry, I got crazy. I was reading that. The movie is two guys that start a revenge for hire business because one of their dads, Jack Warden, needs a heart transplant.
He's my dad, too. He's both of our dads.
You can't say that, though. That's secret information.
Oh, yeah, that's the big plot twist.
Yeah. So, we give that away later. Let me tell you how The Exorcist ends now. Silence of the Lambs, they kill that guy.
Revenge. What do you know from revenge? Do you have any experience in your own life with revenge?
Yeah, I always think up revenge is to get back at guys. Like if they screw me over, if they do something mean, you know.
Really?
Oh, all the time. Like this one guy, man. He would always. What's that? What do you got there?
A little article about you in a little feud with another network.
Oh, yeah. There's this character over on the NBC. He's the president, and he hates me.
And why?
He doesn't think I'm funny.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing if you're not funny.
No, I am funny.
Yeah.
He's very funny. I think he just doesn't know you.
He's a jackass.
What about dirty work, though?
What about dirty work?
Can I have that?
Yes, matter of
Thanks.
fact, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Dirty work is what about it?
It's funny, don't you think?
Is it funny? Have you ever done any revenge little tricks, do little pranks to people to sort of get even?
When I was a little kid, I did this thing where I would phone people at random, me and my brother, and we'd go, hello? We'd pretend to be all scary, and we go, my mommy gave this number to call you in case there's an emergency. There's someone at the door trying to get in. There's someone at the door.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was funny though.
He did something to me 2 days ago. I was driving, one of the stars of the movie, Artie Lang, is very excited about everything that's going on with this movie, and he got a brand new Cadillac. Beautiful black Cadillac. We went golfing. We played 3 holes, then went to the snack bar, and then we played 2 more later. And so Artie, we're driving back, and I plowed into a manhole, and I flatted out his tire in the bottom of the car,
With his new caddy.
with his brand new caddy. He's like cracking up. So what current kind of practical joke?
So this crazy Mexican tow truck driver comes, you know, to fix his car, and so then I tell Saget, I go, hey man, that guy wants your autograph, you know,
For his kid.
For his kid. So then the guy like fixes our car, and then Saget, like a jackass, he comes up afterwards and he goes, yeah, I'll sign anything for you. And the guy goes, no, cash.
I said, you want an autograph? He says, no, $50. And then he and Artie are like on the ground because I was like, you want my autograph for your kid, right? And he goes, no.
Was this
very pleasant.
Was this movie fun to make? I mean, is it more fun to make comedies than to make dramas? Because you've made dramas before.
He made a drama about his sister died of a bad disease.
Right. I mean, you've done the other thing. Is it a whole...
You know, it's interesting that you told us both. I forgot I'd done it till now.
But you've also done some other directing as well.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people don't know you started back in college doing directing projects and things.
Right. But this thing, you know, comedy is a collaborative thing. And Norm and the writers, Norm wrote it with Frank Sebastiano and Fred Wolf and our producer Bob Simons. Everybody was working together to get the funniest stuff that we could get out of it. And it's Norm's sensibilities, a lot of it. And it's really because of that I fell in love.
I don't know what he's talking about, but we got funny people in it.
California.
We got, you know, the great Don Rickles, Chevy Chase, Chris Farley, all the funniest guys I know are in the movie. So that's what makes it, you know.
Are you happy to be doing movies and not TV anymore?
No, I love TV the best.
Do you?
Yeah. Maybe one day I could fill in for Spencer Christian if he's over in Atlantic City or
Do you think? He always is, you know.
I know, I saw him there once.
Did you?
Yeah,
How much did you lose?
He had a feverish look on his face.
Norm MacDonald, Bob Saget.
We're done?
Best of luck with dirty work.
Thanks, Lisa. You and Kevin are great, man.
Thank you.
Seriously.
But you wrote a sequel for Dirty Work,
I did.
and we had the money.
Yeah, we were going.
That's
We were going.
unbelievable to me.
Yeah. And Norm, I didn't think he was going to die. And I didn't know.
I was going to say, did you know? I mean, you know, writing a sequel that stars a guy who's got leukemia is not a smart move. So
when nobody knew, and he wanted it that way, and I think it was also him being a gambler at heart. You know, with life,
he thought he could get through it.
And by the way, he was told he was going to. So I think it's those last few weeks. I think he was really thinking he was going to beat it, and we were set to go. And so you were going to be getting the phone call.
Yeah.
And I told you that when I was in New York, and it's really good script. And he and Lori Jo Hoekstra, who I love.
Yeah, Lori Jo, the great LJ.
She's just great. I guess when we did Dirty Work, I was more the guy that wanted to be liked, and that ain't the club you do it with. You know, you don't have, you know, Frank Sebastiano and Fred Wolf. It ain't social. It's making the best movie you can make. And
Right.
that movie was, you know, people that love it have to know that writing good comedy is hell. You know, it's really hard work. And that's why I think the movie resonated. Right now I'm trying, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to make the R-rated cut for Norm, you know.
Right.
To do that, because 7 minutes are missing. So
no kidding.
Yeah. Remember you guys had, I can't give it away if it comes out.
Well,
it involves donuts.
The donut scene. Yeah, right, exactly.
And there's more than that. But, the prison scene's a little bit different.
Yeah. And I can say what it is. The prison scene, Norm gets fucked in the ass. And
as you do in prison.
Listen, I've been there. No one always gets fucked in the ass. Believe me, that would be I'd be a hard date to deal with if that happened.
Well, for you, it's like looking for Waldo once you get in there.
But anyway, Norm says after he gets fucked in the ass, you know what hurts the most is the lack of respect. That's what hurts the most. But the other thing hurts the most, the anal rape.
Right. And that
got cut out.
But we used a wide shot, and amazing that it worked. That and the other thing.
Right.
And I had Norm loop it, and he went, God, looks like I said that. So he did. You said anal rape, Norm. And so hopefully we'll put anal rape back in where it belongs in dirty work.
Anal rape belongs no further than your friendly podcast and your friendly movie makers. But I'll tell you, man, you got, especially when elections are around, you got to have a lot of, and you're a comedian, they expect you to know things nowadays. You know what I mean? It didn't used to be like that. Like during the Vietnam War, they wouldn't go, wonder what Red Skeleton thinks on this. But nowadays, like I've heard, they go, a comedian is the modern day philosopher, which first of all, it always makes me feel sad for the actual modern day philosophers who exist, They're working, trying to come up with their philosophy, and they go, God damn, you ever hear of this nightclub comic? He's doing some very good work on tautologism, or what the hell you say.
I hate fake humility. The idea of like somebody being good for the cause or the resistance or whatever. First of all, that's meaningless. The fucking, you got to go back and look at all that Norm MacDonald shit. That interview Norm MacDonald did where he was like, oh yeah, everybody thought Hitler was hilarious prior to him running to power, or like getting into power. There was comics about him and everyone thought he was a big joke. And then he did the Holocaust. So there goes your notion of comedy being powerful.
That's like, the one where he's like,
Norm rules.
If you tell me one socially relevant joke that's funny, I'll give you $1 million.
Norm fucking rocks.
And they're like, what about all this identity-based comedy, like Aziz and Amy Schumer? He's like, yeah, everyone expects comedians to be modern day philosophers, which I think is really insulting to modern day philosophers.
People go to school, study philosophy.
He's like, you're not a philosopher because you try to fuck waitresses.
I know, man. Norm
so
fucking
good.
rocks.
He's the best.
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fit poison my.
There was a thing I read about Woody Allen, and he went on the stage, and a lot of the people did much better than him, and he was upset, and his manager said, no, it's what you leave on the stage. That was his remark upon Woody Allen. And so I always thought, well, a guy like Andrew Dice Clay would destroy, and have me hitting the wall, as you say, but then afterwards, maybe you'd feel a little queasy. Whereas you kill, and then you leave something nice on the stage. It's one thing to make people laugh, it's another to make people smile.
Wow.
Why is it that you can't, England's not doing well financially.
Right.
Can't you get you call them your mates?
Mm-hmm.
They're friends.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the world, they call them mates.
Sure.
Get a couple of dozen of your mates and go down to that Buckingham Palace and kill the old bag.
To what end?
It's money.
Right.
And here you're kind of a, I don't know if you're a punk rock kind of a guy or what you are, but you don't seem to have much use for authority. Now, Egypt has the Egypt Spring, and they're like, we got to get rid of this guy. He owns half the money in the country. I mean, right? Let's get together on Facebook and we'll storm the palace. I feel in England, the people here in this room could get in there and take. The Queen has all the money.
She's got a lot of money, hasn't she?
She's the richest woman in the world.
Are you an old sea captain? What is this shtick that you... Are you drunk on rum? We were talking outside about why you never guest hosted for some of the... Now I'm beginning to realise. But, it's what's weird is you're not even drunk. And yet it's the illusion of it is extraordinary. Have you had a stroke or have you had a breakdown? It's a breakdown. You just had a little light breakdown on the way in the car. Because I'm pretty sure I've watched some of these other editions of the show, and I'm pleased to see that I've broken from the rule of only having white blokes on the show, which seems to be you only have white men and Roseanne
because it's supposed to be a comedy.
Right. But it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. It's allegedly. Why did you leave Indiana?
Because I had worked at a television station for 5 or 6 years, and I was getting tired of that. I mean, it was fun being on TV. And then I went to a radio station and worked there for a year, and that was right during Watergate, and people would call up and ask me questions about Watergate, and I didn't know. I couldn't answer it. But I met Richard Nixon.
No, you didn't.
Yes, after he left office.
How does it come about that you meet Richard Nixon?
We had a guy who worked on our show, Frank Gannon, who had worked with Diane Sawyer as they were speechwriters for the Nixon administration. And Frank had maintained a nice relationship with the former president, and he was on the Today Show talking to Bryant Gumbel. And so he said to me, after we got done taping our show, he said, Bryant Gumbel is taping these interviews with Richard Nixon. Would you like to come up and meet him? And I said, yes, of course I would like to come up and meet him. Now, a friend of mine had been on our show named Jeff Altman. And Jeff Altman loved Richard Nixon, loved everything about him, loved what he looked like, loved what he sounded like. He was fascinated by Richard Nixon. So I said, hey, Jeff, let's go up and we'll meet Richard Nixon. And he said, oh my God, yes. So we go up there. Now it's Frank, myself, Jeff Altman. And we walk in, and there was a little green room waiting area. And Richard Nixon jumps to his feet, and my first impression was he was a taller man than I thought. He seemed to be about 6 feet tall, and I always envisioned him as sort of hunched over and such. But he was tall, and the other perhaps greater surprise was he was very charming. Oh, Frank! He was so happy to see Frank, and he patted Frank on the shoulder and this and that, and we introduced everybody around and. Jeff Altman, and he was talking about Angels baseball and about how much he loved Carney Lansford, and it was going quite well. And then Frank said to the former president, Mr. President, what are they talking to you about? He said, oh, it's the usual deep throat. It's not much of a Nixon. Yeah. They want to know who Deep Throat was. And so he's just kind of fumphering around about Deep Throat, but in a jocular fashion. Mm-hmm. And then after that sort of settled down, he looked at Frank right in the eyes and he said, it wasn't you, was it, Frank? And it was just, for my friend Jeff, for me, for everybody, it was delightful.
Because he was serious.
Yeah. Who knows if he was serious? I don't know.
Was it you? Was it Frank? You don't know Frank Gannon.
Yeah.
I know Jeff. I know Jeff.
It's so bizarre to think of Frank Gannon as deep.
Yeah.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I wasn't broken apart by you.
It says now when Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy broke into the Watergate Hotel, they were wearing wigs and listening devices. And Richard Nixon goes, well, I suppose you could say they were wearing listening devices, or perhaps you'd call them hearing devices. And wigs. Do you want to do some jokes, David?
Fuck, something, yeah.
Here's a very, what do you call it? When a joke is just ripped from today's headline.
We have to explain how the joke
Topical.
Topical.
After being drafted in the 7th round by the Rams, Michael Sam kissed his boyfriend. The celebration didn't end there because on ESPN2 there was full insertion. This is a joke. A Westchester parking enforcement officer stole $89,000 in quarters. How much laundry does this guy need to do?
No, this is a good performing joke.
The man behind the voice of Tony the Tiger. Sadly, the man behind the voice of Tony the Tiger died at 64. His last words, I don't feel great. I gave it something. Yeah. Are these left over from when you did updates?
We're living in a golden age.
I go, can we just tell people we went into the behind and we don't have to really do it?
The behind.
I'm trying to clean up your fucking show. We're living in a golden age of Adam masturbating to interracial granny porn.
Jen told you that one in confidence. That's fine.
To stop a pit bull attacking her daughter, a Texas man bit the dog. Well, that's an interesting story. A man bites a dog. It's not what I would call news.
Man bites dog?
Yeah.
Used to be dog bites man, right?
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get it. Really. Do you write these for real? Do these come from the fucking YouTube subscribers or whatever?
Oh, you know the search for the Malaysian Airlines? Did you hear about the latest?
I heard it was missing.
Yeah, well, did you hear about the latest?
No.
Here, it's on this card.
Oh, okay. The search continues. In related news, a plane was spotted by some cavemen in the year 365 BC. I don't totally get it.
This
back in time?
is the final joke. In my hand.
Thank God. Are we getting a wrap up?
I may not have book smarts, but you know what I have? Supermarket flyer smarts. You know where I got them? From reading a lot of supermarket flyers.
That can't be one of the jokes, is it?
Jesus.
Dude.
Did you ever think?
I smell a mass firing. Is this going to go down as a test show?
No.
You better fucking air it.
Listen, did you ever think that I wanted to...
Jesus Christ. Test show, test show.
Final joke.
It's growing on me.
From David Spade, a man in Chippewa. A man in Chippewa.
Did you help me like
Well,
with
just
that one? A man in Chippewa allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor it would help him become rich. Is it me or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots? That's pretty. I'm glad you saved that for that.
Everything's good about, you know, you're an Irishman. Me mother, she was orange. Me father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German. Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause
it's a very strange lie. I'd put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German. No, I tell you why it's funny, man. Because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, "Have you ever?" He said, "You know Andy Richter?"
Yeah? Yeah, he did?
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia and he said, you know Andy Richter?
Oh, yeah, you guys do well there.
Oh.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish-German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
Really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish-German. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah, well, now this lines up perfectly. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first...
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No. Oh, you're down to 6. You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up.
You can get him back.
Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fella says, he says, man, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he tells you,
Yeah.
He says, man, there was an old prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood. Sure. Yeah. And I need a woman, you know. And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish-German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, you know. He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, you know, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, you know, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees, and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar. He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs, and if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish-German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, you know, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. You know, this is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this, you know. This got to be all secret. Nobody. I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people will know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish-German, will know about it. And the feller that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Why?
Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish-German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
Well,
at least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice.
You weren't gay.
Right. Well, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself. That's what I was getting.
You're such a horrible man.
I got cable, but it's still valuable airtime.
I don't know about that.
You know, in Georgia, they say there's a whole subgenre of Andy the Swedish-German joke. That's what the guy told me.
Well, you know what? I asked you, how are you? Yeah? And you went into, I believe, a 48-minute joke.
Oh,
which
I'm sorry.
was fantastic, but now we have to take a commercial break.
Are you kidding me?
What? Yes! I'm about to grow my beard back if I don't...
Mr. Thornton, man, how did you come to be on that episode of Norm MacDonald Live? Had you met him before, or what the heck? How did that happen? How did it come about? Yeah, I've known Norm over the years. Sure, yeah. Nice guy. He's my favorite comic. You're one of my favorite actors. I got to tell you, Norm is hilarious. It's hard to beat Norm.
You did that big arena tour, didn't you?
I did it's me and Sandler and Spade, Schneider, Norm MacDonald, and
How funny is Norm MacDonald?
Oh, he's amazing. Ah, what?
Who's the funniest out of that group?
Fuck.
Like
I don't know.
Can I speak from the outside? It's weird because like one night it's him, one night it's this thing about that's an all-star lineup right there, and Norm MacDonald is a funny motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, I just watch. I don't watch comedy. I just watch clips of Norm MacDonald.
Yeah,
that's all I like.
Yeah,
I like Norm.
He's the best.
Yeah, Norm does it for me.
I haven't seen the show. I saw a couple episodes. It was pretty good.
Of the
I used to love
Netflix
that
show?
podcast.
It's the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a magic to that podcast because it came out of nowhere.
Right.
You're just not expecting Norm to
It's the
have a
best
platform.
podcast
Yeah.
ever.
That first season of the Norm MacDonald podcast was...
Yeah, it's the best podcast ever.
That's number 1. Cumtown number 2. Rad Dude Cast number 3.
This is you may get annoyed at this, but this one time I was listening to a bunch of old clips of Norm MacDonald, and Norm was talking about the Death Squad.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you heard that?
He talks about me a lot. It is so fucking
But it's
funny.
weird. It's really
so
strange. It's like,
funny.
why the fuck does Norm MacDonald? Because he was like, Death Squad. It sounds like a fucking group of fist fighters, not a comedy crew. You're like, what?
He is so hilarious.
It's interesting. Here's what it is, though. To me,
He did a Death Squad show also. So
well, he's talking shit because he likes it, right?
Right,
He likes to
right.
mock things. You only mock things as a comedian that you enjoy. Like when we shit on each other, we joke around about each other's
Right.
shit. It's only because we fucking enjoy each other. Otherwise, there's no way to really know if you get along with someone if you can't joke around. And I think he does that because he recognizes it. But it's like from a distance, someone could be like, "Dude, he hates those guys." It's like the fact that he knows it is even more important. To me, it's like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a show. I did a Death Squad show in Denver at the Comedy Works, and
Such a good club.
He was there like the following day, but he came early, and he was just checking out the show, and it was right before we were about to start. And I'm like, he's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I'm like, "Hey, if you want to jump on the show," he's like, "What is it?" He's like, "So it's Death Squad show." He goes, "What the?"
Yeah.
But he used to do it when I first told him about it. So like,
Death
I think
Squad.
he's-
That doesn't sound like a comedy
He's so
crew.
hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I better not say that.
Say it. Don't not say it. Don't not say it. The name of this episode is going to be Don't Not Say It.
Okay.
Come on.
One of the most funniest things about this is so mean, but one of the funniest things about Norm is like he really helped me out with my hygiene, hair hygiene.
Yeah.
Because that night when I was like talking to him, I look over to him and he had like literally a black like spite, like it looked like a bush, like a woman's 70s bush coming out of his ear hair.
He had a pussy ear?
And it freaked me out. So that night I went home to one of those like hotel mirrors that's really close up.
Right.
I look and I had like 2 of them. I'm like, oh my God, no one told me about this. And so now I've always wanted to like tell him like,
Tell
hey,
him that he
man,
was the inspiration?
you got like a quarter-sized bush.
Well, now I hope he sees this and hears this.
I
Now
feel bad.
the Death Squad guy says I got a lot of ear hair. Fuck him.
But
man.
wouldn't you want somebody to tell you?
Yeah, no, honestly, dude, most of us probably want somebody to tell us, but for the most part, we're so embarrassed about these shortcomings that you're like, please don't let me know about that fucking
Yeah.
shit.
So now I'm freaked out about that and nose hairs.
That's funny. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
If a comedian can't take a joke about that shit, I mean, we're in deep shit.
Have you met Norm MacDonald before? Being in the...
I got to work with Norm, and I guess I mean I hope he doesn't mind if I tell him because this is a very endearing.
Last Comic Standing.
No, I did.
Right?
I did
That
the
was
season
less-
before.
Okay.
But I got to work with him one week, and we.
What did you do?
Oh man, I watched every single set he did, and it was so cool. And we actually got. You know what? I already got into the story, so I got to tell it.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, that's fine.
He wanted to get high.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I don't really get high before shows, but afterwards, cool. And
Sure.
he's like, no, now.
Well, when Norm MacDonald says now,
right, you say yes.
Yeah.
Correct. And he goes and hands me the joint, and I was like, okay. And then he hands it back for a second hit, and I was like, no thanks. And he goes, what's your problem? And I go, well, I'm just worried I'm going to repeat a joke, and I still have to go up and bring you up because the opener was on.
Right.
And I was hosting. So I still have to go up there and bring you up, and I just don't. I already did some jokes earlier, and I just don't want to tell the same joke again. And he goes, "That's insane. You're an idiot. Smoke this." and so I smoked it, and then we go inside, and I'm so high. I go, "I'm just going to bring you up. I'm not going to do any time. I'm just going to bring you up." And he's like, "No, do a couple minutes." And I go, "No, with please, just let me just bring you up. And he goes, no, do 5 minutes. This guy's doing really well. Give me, take a little,
Sure.
do a little time in between.
You need a little buffer between comments.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, okay. So I went up there and I was so high, I was like, I don't even remember what I said in the
Oh,
first
wow.
half of my set. So I'm just going to tell jokes that I haven't told in years. And when I told a joke,
So you told the audience, you let the audience in on the fact that you had been.
no, the audience didn't know.
They didn't
So
know.
I would just tell.
Okay. Oh, so you just said that to yourself. I'm just going to do jokes I haven't done in 5 years.
Yes,
Okay.
and I walked on stage and I would tell a joke, and then I would watch the audience, and if they laughed, I would relax and go, okay, that one down. And I did that the whole set. It was horrible. I was so stressed out, and then I just said, ladies and gentlemen, Norm MacDonald. And I look over to my right, and there he is walking the opposite way. and the feature turned him around and pointed him to the stage.
Over here, Norm.
That's
Norm.
how high we got by accident.
By accident, like you tripped on a joint. But I mean,
I love the peer pressure from Norm, though. That's awesome. It's like a high school and middle school all over again.
And he's my hero, so
Yeah.
I just, for me, I was a little worried about him. But then he walked on stage and he opened it up with this great bit, and he was crushing.
Right.
He was destroying, and then he got the light, and then he started to wrap it up, and he started to tell the joke he opened with, and I started to freak out. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
And the audience thought it was a joke. They thought he was being Norm.
Sure.
But when he delivered the punchline, and it was the same punchline, they realized he had just forgotten his joke, and they didn't laugh. They felt a little betrayed, and he walked off stage in complete confusion. And
That bit usually kills.
and then the feature goes, "You told the same joke twice, you idiot." And he goes, no. And then he looks at me and he goes, this is your fault. And I never got to work with him again. That was the last time I worked with Norm.
But you know what? With Norm MacDonald, though, that's Norm. He's so irreverent that
You'd almost expect it.
He can do that.
Yeah.
And all this, that's a bit in itself. I mean, look at the cauliflower joke he did on the roast of Bob Saget.
Yeah.
That bit, he purposely went up there on that roast and bombed on purpose.
Yeah.
And it was genius.
Yeah.
And have you heard that bit?
Watch Norm MacDonald roast. Who was he roasting?
It was Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Your head looks like a cauliflower or something like that. I'm not going to do the bit, but yeah, go back and.
New songs on the radio sounding fake. Prince and Genesis for better anyway.
Your favorite guests are always like the Bill Burr, Norm MacDonald. This
Yes.
might go off the rails really fast.
I
type of
mean,
guys.
yeah. I mean, Norm MacDonald, one of the great talk show guests of all time. He invented something that no, Norm MacDonald invented this amazing thing that I've never seen anybody do before or since. It's kind of like he split the atom. It was that revolutionary. Norm would come on and he would, instead of telling you a real story, like if I had you on the show and you're like, hey, Bill, tell me, well, and remember I was living in Chestnut Hill once, and you would tell a real story about what happened to you in your life. Norm tells old jokes as stories that happened to him.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, Norm, what are you up to? And I mean, really old jokes from like the 1920s. And he'd be like, well, Conan, I don't know if you're aware that I purchased a farm, Conan. I'd be like, really? You purchased a? Yeah. I purchased a farm. Of course, I have 3 daughters. And I'm like, you have 3 daughters? Yeah, I have 3 daughters on the farm. One very attractive, one not as attractive, and of course the third not, kind of. Well, she's ugly, Conan. She's ugly. And I'd be like, Well, one day this traveling salesman comes to the farm. And he says, now, Norm, I tell you. And then it's like he's telling an old traveling salesman joke.
Yeah.
But
but you know about halfway through where it's going.
I mean, I usually know. I know kind of what he's doing. I'm laughing that he has the balls to do this. I'm laughing at the audacity. So I don't even care if this joke lands or not. I'm laughing that he's committing to the fact that, no, he doesn't have a farm. He doesn't have 3 daughters. There's no traveling salesman. But he doesn't care in a way that is exhilarating and scary at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And plus, he probably has some people in the audience who are taking completely seriously, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's got some people
We call them tourists.
Yes, we call them. They're usually from San Bernardino.
Well, Norm had the greatest talk show moment in the history of talk shows with Courtney Thorne Smith.
That was epic. That was so great. And it's funny because
it's lived on. Who knew that we were going to have YouTube eventually?
You know
where
what?
we could just queue it up on command.
God bless YouTube. I had no idea when those things were happening. I thought, we're talking 1993, 94. When those things were happening, I thought, you know, what did I know? I just thought if you were up and you saw it, that means you saw you saw an amazing thing happen. And if you, and then maybe if I get to stay on the air long enough, we'll have a 1-year anniversary show and maybe you'll see it then. But if you're not there for that, it's gone. And now I meet people, I mean, that around the world that will say, oh, I just saw that thing with you and Norm and Courtney Thorne Smith. And I'll think that was a moment of my life when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like 85 now. Like, how is that possible?
You know, I went to a tennis match in Indian Wells.
Yeah.
And I saw Rafael Nadal play. He's my favorite.
Rafael Nadal. Explain to the folks who Rafael Nadal is.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
No, of course, Rafael
Yes,
Nadal. I'll
but-
explain.
okay.
Rafael Nadal is a tennis player, only 26, but seemingly beyond his
player.
prime.
Great player.
Abs like...
Great player, but here's the thing.
You like his
Every
abs?
single
You seen his
time
abs?
he serves and returns, he picks his underwear out of his ass.
He does?
Yes.
I've never heard
There's
that.
a
I've never
video
seen
of it.
that.
Show it. I brought
There's
it.
a video of that?
Yes, I brought it.
Well, how could that...
Let me roll that off the schneid.
What?
It's too much bread and butter.
You can't do that in public.
This man is a genius. That's all he does.
What if he was a dentist? Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, he smelled it.
my
Oh, what was that all
God.
about?
You know what I was thinking, though?
Do you remember the girl that got stabbed?
Know that in this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm not.
Well, more bad news for ice cream moguls Ben and Jerry in their continuing battle with the Food and Drug Administration. This week, the FDA banned their newest flavor, stuff from Ben's beard. Meddling bureaucracy wrecking that. Well, bad news for ice cream moguls Ben and Jerry. This week, the Food and Drug Administration banned their newest flavor, Ben's back hair.
ZZ Top saying that every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man, but you know what they're not crazy about? Gross long beards.
It's funny and true.
That one was written for yours. That was
no,
more
no.
your cadence right there.
No.
But you know what they're not crazy about? Gross long beards.
A new study found that men with beards are more attractive. This is a study that took place at the University of... Yeah, I'll do it another week. It's such a funny joke.
Another week.
A new study found that men with beards are more attractive than men without beards. More great work from the University of Bob Seger. My dad used to call it take a shave. Take a shave. He'd get mad at me.
See, people don't know you the way I know you.
Right.
This guy likes to have a good time.
I like to, I drinks a bit.
That wasn't what I was talking about.
Oh, what were you talking about?
I was just saying you have a good time. It's a real innocent thing to say, and then you get right into the drinking.
Yeah, occasionally I like to drink a beer. You know, I like regular drinks. I don't like.
As opposed to ether?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What I was talking about is, you know those shooters? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're shooters and they're like, they have dirty names, like sex names. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they're all called like, the red-headed whore or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's the one I like. It's actually named after me. you
Yeah, but you
lousy.
know, I guess the idea is in your head you want to order them because you're drunk. You go, hey, they go, hey, you think maybe you'll get a, you know, they go, you want a redheaded whore? Yeah, like right? You figure Rula Lenska's going to come in, you're going to have, right? You're going to have some dirty sex. But no, what I was going to say was this.
But you like, I mean, you said you sometimes you have a little too much to drink, maybe?
Well, one time I drank a super amount, and I'd only been...
A super amount,
yeah,
right?
It was when I was a young guy. I'd only drunk like 8 or 9 times in my whole life. I never had gotten really drunk, but I'd had drinks. And I went out with my buddies and I was drinking, and they were having those crazy drinks. All of a sudden, I was really drunk. And then a guy gave me some pills. Like, he said, hey, you want some pills? And I said, yeah, all right. So I ate the pills. And you're not supposed to eat pills while you drink.
I think even if you're not drinking, it's not a good idea when someone goes, you want a bunch of pills? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, combining the two.
This guy was a decent guy. He was a bouncer. No. But, so I said, yeah, so these pills, they just make you like 100 times drunker. So then oh, man, I'm really drunk. And then, like, time passed, but I don't remember. And then my friends were like, hey, let's go. I'm like, why don't you guys go? Where are you going to, you know, why go? Right? Like, we're in a bar drinking, right? And, like, it doesn't seem right. You don't want to go home, you know, and watch I Love Lucy or something. So you're like, hey, I just stay here. I'll make new friends, right? So I was, like, real drunk, and everybody was, like, cool. It was like a Western. It had a jukebox, you know. One of those. Guy gives you a whole bottle there, you know, and you go, ah. And then...
That's what you do when you're drinking, you a pirate?
Yeah.
All of a sudden?
And then it was the funnest, man. There was a big fat bearded guy there, and I was hanging with him, real drunk. All of a sudden, right, I'm like, oh, man, I can't remember anything. I remember, like, I sort of falling into a pool table or something like that.
Right.
And then I wake up, right, and it's like I'm in a bed. I look beside, there's the fat bearded guy beside me.
No, really?
Yeah. So I go, oh, Lord God, I had sex with the fat bearded guy, you know? And at the time, like, I never had sex before in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and I always thought, it's probably going to be with a lady. You know what I mean? So then I looked over, and the weird thing was, instead of us being in the same bed, he's in a separate bed, right? Like, we have 2 separate beds.
It's like twin beds.
Twin beds. So then I'm like, wait a minute, now this is weird, because, you know, why would we be in separate beds? Is he like an old-fashioned gay guy, you know? And then, right? But
he has the good values, yeah.
So
we're not married yet.
There's no such thing, of course, as an old-fashioned gay guy. They're the most decadent people. So I said, with sex, you know, they enjoy sex like crazy, you know?
We mustn't generalize.
No, we mustn't generalize.
No, but go ahead.
Seriously, you know, if there was a bathhouse for straight guys, we wouldn't be able to have sex 9, 10 times a night anyway. So anyways, I'm with, they love sex, it's a good thing. But I'm beside the fat bearded guy. I go, holy Lord. Anyways, it turns out, not a gay man at all. Turns out this guy, when I blacked out, had checked me into a rehab.
No.
Yeah.
And she's in there with you?
Yeah, so I got robes and a slipper, and they wouldn't give me my clothes back. And I had to stay in there for 3 days. And they're like, you're an alcoholic. I go, no, I'm not. And then apparently that's what alcoholics say too, you know? So then, for 3 days, I had to stay there. I had to go to AA meetings, and I'd only been drunk like 9 times, right? So they're like, what's your worst one? I go, I guess the 9th one was bad, you know?
Right.
That was, and when did you hit bottom? I said, I don't know. The cool part of it was, the girls all get up, right? And all their stories are all the same. Whenever they hit bottom, every story is the same. They're like, oh, when I hit bottom, you know, I a guy for a drink, you know, and you're like, oh. You know, every guy.
Couldn't we just take them out of the studio for the Norm part and then bring them back? Get a salad guard up, something?
So, anyways.
All right, well, that's a nice story.
No, but it's a serious illness, you know. Alcoholism. It's an illness. It's an illness. You know?
Yeah.
It's a good illness because you get you know. There's not a lot of illnesses you get to be drunk all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's a corker.
You told me that we should go our separate ways, but
Well, next Tuesday is Halloween, or as evil old people know it, Razor Apple Day. According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or treat.
Ghosts, they don't fucking scare me. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm a big shot, you know? I mean, I am saying that. I am trying to say that. I'm trying to say I'm a big shot. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm no fucking tough guy, but I am. I'm a fucking tough guy. I'll fucking fight. No. But I'm saying I'm not afraid of ghosts. And I'll tell you why. First of all, they're invisible and shit, and when you, let's say they go to punch you, right? Their fucking hand goes right through your body. So I'm not scared of that fucker. Like, the guy that scares me is the guy that when he punches you and then his hand doesn't fucking disadvantage. It hits you. That fucker, I don't like him. The ghost, I like. And then, like, you know, one time I went to a hotel and they had a fucking ghost. Was there? Is it a ghost? Was there? And you think you wouldn't put that on the front of the hotel. You think some people might not show up, not wanting to be haunted by a ghost. But anyways, people would show up at this hotel, and I had to fucking stay there. And anyways, it said there was this woman that was a fucking ghost, and her name was the woman in the blue dress, you know, and she haunted the halls, evidently. Anyways, I thought it was a reckless nickname, first of all. I would have called her the Ghost. I think that was her defining quality, not the... I've seen blue dresses before, nothing terrifying about them. But, anyways. So the ghost shows up, and what is the ghost really? All they can do is fucking startle you. You're like, ah! What the fuck? Oh, you're a ghost, you know. What are you going to do, hang around all the time? They're like, ah! You're like, yeah, okay. Because at first you'd be startled, but by, 6 months, you're like, ah, yeah, you scared me out again. I was scared again. They're like, ah! You're like, yeah. Why are you still here? I forgot. And they're whiny, those fucking ghosts, aren't they? Jesus, goddamn. They're always like, I've got to stay here. And you're like, why? And they're like, because unfinished business. I must come to peace with it. And then you're like, what about me, you fucker? I got the same problems as you, except you can walk through the fucking walls. I'd much rather be you, a ghost. Anyway. And of course, the most frightening is the Count Dracula, that fucker, the vampire. No, the vampire does not. The vampire is the oddest one to me because they go, listen, the fucking vampire is around today. I heard he was around. So we gotta get shit, garlic and all this other shit and everything, and silver bullets, and then we get a 2x6 and hew it, so we get the proper. And then we get a fucking wooden mallet. We got, as the beast descends upon us, we must strike him, in the center of his chest and explode his heart and kill this ancient plague, Because if we don't, if we make one small mistake, he'll bite our necks, and then we'll be immortal. What? What was that last part? What? I didn't hear the last part. And they bite your neck and you get to be a cool vampire forever. Unless someone tricks you and makes you a pile of dust, which would also be a cool way to go out. But you get to be a vampire and then you're sexy. So vampires are now sexy, which is cool, you know. Women love vampires. You probably love vampires, right? I don't know what it is, but man, women love vampires like babies love stray dogs. You know, they touch them somewhere deep within their souls. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what it is. I'm no doctor. Sometimes I claim to be a doctor, but it's all in good fun. Enjoy performing experiments on the human body sometimes, and if you like that sort of thing, you have to pretend to be a doctor. Pretty well the only way they'll let you do it. I have the suit at home. Anyway.
In my opinion, if we're going to fight the war on terror, a good place to start would be our country's haunted houses.
When I was a kid, I went to the haunted house at the state fair, and my dad did not want to pay the 50 cents to get in to the haunted house. And it was like this trailer with ghosts and stuff. And my dad goes, "That's no goddamn haunted house." So I'm like, "Sure it is." He goes, "No, it's not. It's got wheels on it. It drives around. The ghosts will come right out." It was like ruined it for me. Whatever.
So, unless you've been living under a rock, Star Wars. I do not understand why people stand in line for days and days and days. They can't see the movie in 2 weeks. I mean, they don't have jobs. In any event, so I went to see Star Wars. I have never seen any of the Star Wars, and I felt terrible about it until I learned that
I never saw it.
It?
Never saw the first one.
I never saw any of them.
No.
You never saw anything? You never wanted to see Star Wars?
No, I never liked them. I don't like those science fiction because my dad always hated them. And you know how you try to be what your dad, you try to be, you know what I mean? And I remember when I was a kid, I watched that Twilight Zone. Remember that show?
Yeah.
And oh my God, my dad hated it because it was too fantastical, and he thought I should be doing the chores. And I remember one time, me and my brother were watching Star
All
Wars.
I said was, have you ever seen Star Wars?
This goes on. That's Norm.
We only have 2 more minutes.
I was just giving you a little backstory. But me and my brother were watching the Twilight Zone, and then my dad walked by, and we were watching, and we were all excited about this Twilight Zone. And then my dad walked by, and he looked at like the screen, and he said, "I suppose this one's a goddamn ghost."
Oh, well, that was funny. Okay. Anyway, we're going to give our quick review.
Have you ever been with a porno girl?
Yes.
A professional pornography person?
Several times, yes.
Oh, several times. And how does that... See, that would intimidate me because I would think... You know how when you're in bed sometimes and you're like, you're doing something that you think you invented? Have you ever done that? And then
I did invent them. I'm still thinking that.
I believe it. Because oftentimes it might have just been the pornographer's girl's husband that actually invented it.
Well, I don't know that the husbands, the spouses of people in pornography are sexual pioneers. I imagine that they are like shuffling little eunuchs in the sex. They've married a person who's working in pornography.
Yeah.
If you're prepared to make that Faustian pact, where are you psychologically?
Yeah, well, you go out with them.
This is a casual interchange. That's not like, I'm making more of a commitment to you by sitting here. So I mean, it's not
But
like,
is it a
let's
challenge
go on a
to you?
voyage. Yes, but like for me, look, what you got to think of, don't see sex as some treacherous, deceitful, grubby little act. It can be that. But see it instead as, I see it as a beautiful confluence. And then women in pornography, if you treat them very, very, very lovingly and graciously, it awakens within them. In addition to their skill and their willingness to experiment, there's an incredible, joie de vivre, an incredible libido in its literal sense, life force that you can be accessed. I don't think be intimidated sexually. unless it's by some sort of strata of being you don't typically want to have sex with, like a cow or a camel, or in my case, a man.
Yes.
You know, that would be intimidating for me. I don't know how all of the orifices work.
Yeah. I think that's exactly the same.
With a camel.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old chunk of coal. I'm near 50.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the same Viagra dosage that they give to the donkey at the second show in Tijuana. That's what my doctor told me. I envy you because you're a more enlightened person. See, I think of sex as a shameful, filthy act.
Catholic, are you?
No.
Oh, where have you picked this up?
I grew up that way, and
Out on the farm, watching animals doing it in rural Canada.
Sow.
A moose being ransacked against some timber.
Sow.
A sow.
Sow.
They, listen.
We were pig farmers.
They're not gracious creatures when it comes to conjugal matters. I've recently had an interaction.
Worst oral sex you could imagine.
Horrible gums, sort of yellowing molars. I would never engage in sex with anything porcine. I see once, I went round a friend's house, they had a pig, they thought it was an angle.
Yeah.
I go, it's like, they goes, oh, the pig's coming out, and I could hear it. So this sort of desperate respiratory announcements preceded its arrival.
Yeah.
It come out, blind it was, shuffled out at me, and they went, with a pig, and you'll know this being from the world of pig farming, they said never take a step back once that pig comes out, otherwise the pig owns the hierarchical status between the two of you.
Yeah.
In fact, take a step towards the pig. Never did I deny my nature more, I'm a vegetarian, than stepping towards this unholy looking creature.
It is.
I did it anyway.
It is an unholy creature, for God's sakes. Jesus threw the demons in them and let them go over the cliff. I once saw a video, and I don't search out these videos, but you know when guys show them to you, they go, "You'll want to see this," and you're like, Jesus, and then there's no one seeing it, you know. But it was a guy a pig having sex with a lady.
I've seen that.
And
They have prehensile penises, don't
They do.
Like corkscrews.
Yeah.
It's like their penis is its own independent entity trying to get away from the pig, which all of us can identify with. Ghastly little
But I
creature.
felt sorry for the pig, because here's the pig having sex with a beautiful woman, then they throw him back in the sty, you know? You know what I'm saying?
It's like a cruel thing to do. It's like the midpoint of trading places. It's a very unfair thing to do that.
Do you actually think that they would like a man's sperm?
A human
being's sperm? A woman?
Well, who?
A woman.
A woman would like a man's sperm? Well, yeah, she's been biologically programmed
in her
through
mouth?
millennia. Not necessarily through her mouth, but I think there's a point where a little bit of deviation from the linear realms of sex is okay, mate. But when you sort of take a big radical turn,
but in your mouth, like, isn't that stuff like living? Isn't that like aren't those animals, little tiny tadpoles or something?
I didn't know it was going to have to get this deep. All right, then. Yeah, they're like little tadpoles. But, like, you know, the cells in the woman's mouth, the woman's basically the same genetic material as us anyway. I mean, it's only a confluence, you know, an interaction of mammalian material. Now, you could argue, well, so is it with the pig. But there's an important 1 or 2% of genetic difference that I think has to be observed in conjugal matters between species. That's my position.
I agree with you completely.
But a human being, I think any...
What do you think is wrong? Wronger.
Wrong in
more wrong. What do you think is more wrong? Having sex with a child, human being, or an adult pig?
Like, you've got to do one. That's the
You got to
options.
do one. Yeah, you're on a deserted
It's
island.
not me. It's some hypothetical
You're
person.
on a deserted
Russell
island
Brand,
with a
and
single
elevated.
tree.
It's
You're
not
on a-
me. It's this person called Doug.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Doug
exactly.
is on this island.
Doug
Look,
is on a
do it with look. I won't have sex with a child because I think the pig may not be as bothered as a child. I think it could have huge psychological impact on the child. So out of compassion, I would advise Doug to do it with the pig and to leave the child alone because of the potential psychological impact. Even though the child's on a bloody island anyway, that's going to mess him up, all that Robinson Crusoe crap.
How old are you?
Well, hold on a minute, that's non sequitur.
What kind of erection do you have?
Hold on a second, mine's marvellous. But let's say
Because mine is bendy. This is my problem. Everything's going well. with the lady.
Yes, you've got
And
an
I
erection.
have my
That's my erection. Gorgeous, straight. A little bit of a swan turn towards the back, which helps with the G spot. That I can manage that using techniques.
G-spot. You can actually find that?
Mate, what are you doing in that bedroom? What are you getting up to?
I can't. They have the clitoris, the G-spot. I couldn't even find a guy's balls if I had to.
Well, you don't need to do that, mate. You're not determined to on accounts of your predilections, but you've got to know how their equipment works.
Yeah, I just guess.
I can help you out.
How would you do that?
I just give you some basic techniques, some basics,
right? And I get the mood going.
The mood's going.
I have 4 covers and a big quilt. And then
well, I'm getting hard.
I turn
with your big Snoopy bed.
I don't have a Snoopy bed. I have
4 covers and a quilt.
No, I have one of those beds that go like it's actually sexy. It moves
It's like
up
the
and
Walton's
down.
house. Was it?
Then I get the
Dust
mood.
Bowl. Who wrote your house? John Steinbeck.
Then I get the mood going. I turn down the lights till it's Stygian black. And then I climb underneath the covers. I lay on top of the lady for 4 or 5 minutes. And she doesn't seem to enjoy it.
No, it sounds like an assault. It's like
But
having-
one time I tried this animalistic approach where, the lady is on her hands and knees. You know that?
Yeah.
That position?
I do know it.
Yeah. Named after a dog. Like,
Rather reductive.
A what?
Could be, it's reductive. Could
Yes.
be anything that's got 4 legs.
Yes, exactly.
Couldn't it?
Exactly. Anyways, I go to put my cock in, and it
Delightful.
starts bending. It's
Which direction?
well, I have a kind of long cock, but
Congratulations.
But it's not thick. Turns out they only enjoy thick ones. But so it goes like this. Then
Just
it
like
bends.
a pencil. It feels like a medical exam.
Have you seen like when an inchworm? It's more than an inch. But when a 12.5-inch worm goes like.
I don't know this creature, Norm.
Because your erection is banging on your belly every morning, whereas when you reach my age, I'm an old chunk of coal. I'm 49. I'm damn near 50. I've seen more sunsets than I'm going to see. Let's be honest.
Hey, World Cup. You watch the World Cup?
Oh, I'm wearing one. I'm king here. In World Cup soccer, Mexico defeated Cameroon 1-0, or as it's known in soccer, a blowout. Right?
Yeah, very low-scoring games. Yeah.
Who wrote these? The enemy? Can't find a joke you like.
You don't want to do a dirty joke, Carl.
Absolutely.
There you go, sir.
Okay. Police in Tennessee arrested a teenage girl when they found a loaded handgun in her vagina. When questioned, her boyfriend said, I guess that explains why my cock... I can't say that word. I guess that explains why my cock kept getting blown off. I don't get it. A man in Chipata allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor that would help him become rich. Is it me, or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots?
I think maybe they were in cahoots.
Gee, who writes these?
Huh?
We should have this person locked up and looked at, or at least looked at.
I like that one. There you go. Let's do it. Let's do it funny.
This one's like two pages long and cut off at the end.
Come on, man. Do your best. Give it your best.
It's not even complete.
Give it your best shot, man.
Troubled starlet Lindsay Lohan had a cameo on Anger Management last week and managed to shock the cast and crew by showing up on time and even early. Later in the week, the Mean Girls actress was looking decidedly chipper as she posed on the red carpet at a clothing store launch in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Perhaps Lindsay is getting a jump start on her upcoming mandatory 90-day rehab, or maybe bartenders are just asking her to land someplace else, knowing the way liquor...
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, here's the rest of that joke. Adam Egan, finishing off the joke.
Makes her fly. Note, I can understand why someone in show business would want to drink liquor to soothe and steady her nerves. Why some people I know I drink liquor and get so steady they can't even move.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's get back to Tom.
You wrote all these, Norm, or you sit up and write all these, or? Music is the universal language, but one day soon it will be replaced by Chinese.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, we got some jokes.
All right,
but that's all right.
But you know, are these street jokes?
No.
So you wrote them?
They're not. Someone wrote them.
Some of them wrote that you know.
Yeah, some people in this room.
Okay, cool.
Some people in this
Thank
room.
you.
I don't want to say who because in case the joke doesn't work.
Okay, all right. So
that's a strong joke. You can just read it. You don't have to read ahead if you don't want. There's nothing in
No, I'll just read it then.
Yeah.
Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it. See, I love
Wait,
how he
stop.
laughs. I love how he laughs. It's just kind of weird, right? Some of them are odd. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a joke. I signed up for my company's 401k, but I don't think I can run that far.
It is a long way. Wait, I gotta get one that's gonna make Bobby happy. I don't like when he scowls after that. Hey, All My Children star Matthew Cowles. You ever watch All My Children? Sure. Well, All My Children star Matthew Cowles has died at the age of 69. Oh. Or has he? It's what is All Children called? It's called a soap opera. Soap opera. Yes. Yeah. Soap opera.
Where do you get these jokes?
Some guy. Hey, a cowboy at a rodeo in Georgia used his lasso to apprehend a gunman. At least this is according to a recent segment of America's hottest new game show. Georgia Police Blotter or episode synopsis from Walker, Texas Ranger.
It's so long. I know. Too long. It wasn't beaten out properly. Where did these come from?
The only things certain in life are death, taxes, and getting caught whacking off in a Target dressing room.
Are these your tips?
I've learned that the hard way. You want to read a joke?
Yeah, man. Who wrote these jokks?
We can't say.
I'd like to do something about a film or something. Oh, good.
How do you know that fast? How do you know that fast?
Glanced and saw.
I'm a good cheater. Fast and Furious 6 opens next week. The cast is getting a little older. It's less fast and furious and more like brisk and peeved.
Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? That's not right.
Do you have a writing staff?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
We have Steve O'Donnell.
Steve, these are really good.
To stop a pit bull attacking her daughter, a Texas man bit the dog. Well, that's an interesting story. A man bites a dog. It's not what I would call news.
Man bites dog?
Yeah.
Used to be dog bites man, right?
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get it. Do you write these for real? Do these come from the fucking YouTube? Are these from the audience? They write them? Did you read them? Did you write them or the audience?
Sure.
Recent studies show fish can communicate with each other using subtle physical gestures. One of their most common messages, "Let's leave this party early." I don't know, what is that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a subtle, it's fucking his joke.
I was at a party with a friend and I noticed you first, and you returned my gaze, knew how to quench my thirst. You took me to that room like a dream come true. The dance you performed was just for me and you. Kisses on the neck, then you work your way down. Let yourself go for me all around town. But it feels so good.
Try to expand my vocabulary by using new words to give my arguments more verisimilitude. Today's word is expand.
Again, I don't get it.
I love people that say they don't get it because, sometimes you tell a joke and they go, and then you explain it to them and then they go, I don't like it. You don't get to not like it. You didn't fucking get it. This is the section where we do jokes. Do you want to read one? Just read it into that camera for the folks. Well, don't read it
out loud.
You have to read it out loud.
No, he didn't.
Oh, here, you read one.
All right. No.
You don't like that
No,
one?
I mean, I like it.
Do you understand that we're on the air?
Yeah. Oh, right. We all know that the Swiss are officially neutral.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
Well, that screwed up my time.
Who wrote this?
We don't have a name on it.
Do you have writers?
It's anonymous.
Well,
It's like
think-
an old, I didn't
don't
write
wanna
it.
say
I,
it.
well, I didn't write that one.
This one says, remember the old days when tweeting meant stabbing a hooker?
Bob liked that one.
Super Dave, why is there an app for everything except how to rape a baby?
Jesus.
Some gold-plated chains would make a nice retirement gift for a very, very good slave. Well, this
Are
was,
you serious?
Well, this was written.
Are you serious?
This was written years
Did
ago.
you just write that?
I didn't write
Did
it.
you just say that?
No, I read it. Yes.
You read that?
It was an old. It was written,
Oh
obviously.
my God Almighty! I'm not part of this.
No, it was written
No,
before.
I'm not part of this. No, you can't read that.
Well,
what about this?
Go ahead.
Read this one.
I can prove God exists if I can just find that damn receipt from our brunch in heaven.
That is so funny. That is so fucking funny.
Oh, this one's actually topical. We could nip March Madness in the bud if we watch for the warning signs of brooding antisocial February fever.
Who is writing this? You're doing this. This is your life. You're putting your life on it. You dress like horse shit tonight.
No, that was Adam
but
Egan's
I don't
fault.
care.
That was
You
Adam
should have
Egan's
worn
fault.
I told you to bring a
some
wardrobe.
kind of a hose coat.
But that was
you
Adam
got
Egan's
a
fault.
thing with a hood.
But that was Adam Egan's
But then
fault.
you're reading these.
I
This
take
is you.
Sure, junkyard dogs are mean, but the meanest dogs are generally found guarding concentration camps. And it says here, there's a note. Early versions of the Jim Croce's 1973 smash hit Big Bad Leroy Brown. Do you remember that song?
Tell the people that.
No, do you know what you just said?
It
Do you have
included.
any idea what you just read?
This says it
No, did you have any idea what you just read?
that
It was an
junkyard dogs.
anti-Semitic joke about the concentration camp.
No.
Oh,
Not
what do you mean?
anti-Semitic
no,
at
no,
all.
No, it's Semitic?
No.
Well, you know, I know what the problem
They
is.
used
'cause
Did you write it?
I didn't write that.
Who wrote it?
They
Are you-
use the meanest
wrote it?
dogs.
I don't know who wrote it, but I think the problem is that some
The
people might
people-
not know what the concentration camps are. So you might need to-
Concentration camps were found in Poland.
Oh my God,
And
oh
what-
fucking
what?
almighty. Oh my Christ
Concentration
almighty.
camps
Please
were-
get my nurse. I swear to God, get her in here right now and
I'm
reel
trying
me
to
away.
explain to the
Did you
folks
have
who
time-
You are
Did you have too much
you
salt?
know what? This is your first show, and these are the.
Well, I don't want to bring up the systemic, extermination attempt against the Jewry of Europe, but this says on this piece of paper that Bad Leroy Brown initially included the line "meaner than a concentration camp dog," but Croce decided it was unpleasant to the ear. And it was also offensive to Jews, gypsies, and homosexuals. Little did it matter, Croce would be dead with it. Well, this Lindsay Lohan can't swim a stroke, but she sure knows every dive in town.
That one I liked. That was my favorite. I'm keeping this.
That is a favorite. Did you write this?
I didn't write that one. No, I
Read
didn't
that
write-
one.
Call me an old softy, but I'd prefer it if you called me a distinguished gentleman with a flagging erection.
Oh.
I don't like that one.
I'll read that one.
Why are you going to make me read all this? Alfred the Great may well be the greatest monarch
Can you
in the
do me a
history.
favor? Can you find out what the traffic is like on the Santa Monica going to the desert?
Do you know the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, I've seen it on every single
You've
commercial.
seen it. Then you'll appreciate this joke. I remember back when the Harlem Shake was just a black fella holding me upside down off a fire escape trying to collect his money.
Can you find out what the quickest way is to the Santa Monica Freeway, please? And don't call me again.
Super Dave.
I don't care about anything. You don't call me again. There's no last minute fill in. There's nothing. Okay? Thank God we're only reaching 50 people.
Wait,
That's
Super
all
Dave.
I can do.
People Magazine, Johnny Depp, sexiest man alive, huh? Hey, listen, I don't care what you think of this guy. He's a hunk. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, sure, we
Let's
can say
not kid
that.
ourselves. Now, apparently he's taking advantage of this sec. Do I need this anymore?
No, you've established it's real. People know about it.
Yeah. So he's a... Look at that guy, man. Good Lord, I'd like to... Whatever. But
But I'll tell you this about the new movie he's doing, Pirates of the Caribbean 3. He'll be doing full frontal nudity.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's rated R.
Oh my God! What the hell was that?
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fix it.
But I do it all the time, I guess. Just going through Norm montages on YouTube. He's just such a prolific joke writer. Like just so many jokes that like these Norm montages that just pop up. 30 minutes of Norm here, an hour of Norm there. It's like you just sit there watching the whole thing.
He had an amazing ability too. We were just watching that Jon Stewart crocodile hunter clip.
I wanted to talk about the crocodile hunter because I think, you know, it was tragic at the time, but I think, I don't know, people call him and then they're shocked. Oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it. Who got killed? The crocodile hunter.
Please don't make me laugh at this.
And they were like, he was 44 years old. I'm like, that's a ripe old age for a crocodile hunter.
He was really conversationally funny. Like the joke didn't have to end until he seemed to want it to end.
Yes.
Like he just kept, like, it was funny too. And I was watching thinking the balls to do that. Like Jon Stewart is like, okay, like, you know, because he's laughing, but he's like, all right, he was only 90. And Norm's like, hey, Bill. And he's just he's still doing the characters. Like he's not ready for it to be finished.
Yeah. He didn't care about getting the laugh in the room sometimes, especially on those TV shows. You know, obviously on stage, but like, in the room, he didn't necessarily care if people weren't going with him. That's the way he always was. I mean, if you go back to those Weekend Update montages of Frank Stallone jokes, like some of them land real hard, but some of them don't land at all.
According to the EPA, it will cost an estimated $295 million to clean up toxic waste at the former Lockheed Martin military aircraft plant in California. The cause of the toxic waste? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. In economic news, unemployment figures rose slightly for the month of October, with declines in the Dow Jones and NASDAQ. The reason for the sudden downturn? You guessed it, Frank Stallone.
And you could clearly see on his face, like, all these jokes are just for him.
Yeah, he didn't care.
He didn't care. And they're hilarious. Like, I don't know exactly when the bit is from, but it seems like he probably wrote the bit right around when he first got the diagnosis, because, like, I didn't even know the bit existed, to tell you the truth. But people were passing it around yesterday of him talking about how men used to be able to just get sick and die, and now they have to wage a war against cancer.
Yeah.
And it's like, he probably wrote that.
That was 2001 or 2011. So yeah, probably
as he got diagnosed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure if the cancer dies, I mean, if you die, the cancer also dies at exactly the same time. So that, to me, is not a loss, that's a draw. That's a, you know what I mean? It's not like the cancer's going to jump up and go, Uncle Bert's wife. Where is he? I won fair and square.
The cancer died at the same time. That's not a loss. That's a draw.
He would go on these talk shows and do like old man jokes.
Yeah.
And they were long. Like when he went on Conan O'Brien and did the moth joke.
Yeah.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office. Right?
You are correct.
And it took 4 minutes to get there, and the punchline is it's a joke punchline. But he liked it. He just loved the joke so much that he was getting through it, and he gets there, and it's like, it's worth it.
And so the doctor says, Moth, man, you're troubled. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here? And then the moth said, because the light was on.
the ability to do that and to not panic and to not bail out and to commit to it and go, this is what I'm doing, and that's it.
I found, as I was looking at clips, it seemed like his 3 favorite topics on Weekend Update were OJ, obviously Frank Stallone, and Vince Foster, and making jokes about Clinton murdering Vince Foster.
And veteran news anchorman David Brinkley apologized to Bill Clinton for an election night commentary in which he called the president, quote, boring and uncreative. Admitted Brinkley, there was certainly nothing uncreative about the way you moved Vince Foster's body. The president's a murderer. You didn't know that?
Here's another OJ joke from Weekend Update.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you.
Relentless.
Yeah, it really is. The beauty of Norm is there is nothing underlying. It's just about the joke.
It's just about being funny.
You know, that's it. What's the funniest thing for this moment?
Yep.
This is what it is.
He hated what was going on in comedy as far as people being punished. And I mean, he really hated it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the one time that he actually started to get in trouble was because he was defending Louis and he was defending Roseanne.
And Shane.
And he defended Shane. Yep,
yes.
Yep, big time defender of Shane. Because he got it. Because he's like, we're telling jokes here. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, he was really furious about that. Yeah, it's terrible. Just terrible.
He spent a lot of time being funny, though.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
He put a lot of funny out there.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anybody with a similar delivery or a similar, like, it's completely unique. He's a completely unique thinker and just a completely unique joke teller, joke writer.
If you try to do a Norm joke, it's like, it's not funny when anybody else does it. And it's because they're not, I mean, he's a genius.
It's natural.
Yes.
It's completely natural. It's completely, you don't watch it for a second thinking this is not who this guy is. You watch it and go, this is completely natural for him to tell a joke this way or to talk this way. That's why he could end a joke when he wanted to, because he seemed so comfortable and natural that, all right, whenever he says it's done, it's done.
You were with him you were on the dais for the Bob Saget roast
of
Comedy Central.
Yep.
And that's one of those instances where, of course, it's like, oh, I can't wait. Norm's going to be so outrageous. Norm's just going to say stuff that you could never say on TV. And then he gets up there
hilarious.
And he just does
old man
jokes.
No, but Bob has a beautiful face, like a flower. Yeah, cauliflower. No offense, but your face looks like a cauliflower.
Yeah, I believe his joke about you was that you're a very colorful person. Because you have a yellow belly and you're green with envy. And that was it. Like, there was no follow. It's like, that's the joke.
And Jim Norton of here is, of course, probably one of the most colorful characters I've ever met. Colorful personalities I know. You're green with envy and you have a yellow streak down your back.
One of his jokes about Geraldo was like, I'd love to have Geraldo's brain. Not because he's smart, but because it's very unused. Like, thanks.
But if I ever need a brain transplant, why, I would choose yours, Greg, and here's why. It's not because you're smart, it's because your brain has never been used. No, but Greg Giraldo, I'm just joking him. He has the grace of a swan, the wisdom of an owl, and the eye of an eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds.
Man's for the birds.
Like, I was sitting there like all day yesterday telling, like, just stopping. Jess is like taking care of the kids, and I'm like, Jess, there's another Norm joke. There's because I'm looking at YouTube, and I'm like, all right, Jess, this was another one of Norm's jokes. This is from Weekend Update, like in the 90s. All summer, Better Than Ezra was the #1 band in America. The #2 band, Ezra.
And in music news, #1 on the college charts this summer was Better Than Ezra. And at #2, Ezra. According to a controversial new biography, Elizabeth Taylor liked...
You see a bunch of clips were going around. You see the clip of him on The View from like really early on. It was from like 2000. It was when the View was at its early stages.
No, I don't think so.
It's fucking great. I think I tweeted it, Travis, if that's the quickest way. I don't know. To find just the clip. Yeah, that's it.
See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers? Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
You're not allowed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. We don't need
I don't want to get into this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question. Get with it.
There you go.
See right there, like no, he's not angry about it.
No.
Like he doesn't like what great instincts, man. Like not mad, like what? He's just having a great time. He always looked like he was having a great time.
Like he's almost too dumb to realize what did I say? I thought we were all
just having fun.
What? You didn't know? He's like you didn't hear that?
And the wind finally dies down, and he goes, "What? You didn't hear that?"
Listen how he follows it up.
This is a live show.
Why? Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Okay. Let me do this.
There are people that after they got invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, they'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I can get in with the Clintons now.
Right.
Maybe I can meet these powerful friends. Maybe I can... 2.5 years after the Correspondents' Dinner, he's going on The View and making jokes.
Clinton murdered somebody.
He murdered a guy.
Doesn't care. I thought it was a matter of record.
He thought Barbara's problem was that Barbara hadn't...
Yeah.
You didn't hear?
Yeah,
You didn't know?
that she was ignorant, and he was just bringing her up to speed.
Just informing her. Did you see the clip that was going around of him on Conan O'Brien with Courtney Thorne Smith?
I don't know.
I feel like this Courtney Thorne Smith clip is somewhat similar to the Patrice Fox News clip.
This is just what she has to say. We are outraged and fired and
he's a
fired
fool. He's an
and
absolute
fired.
fool.
Name calling. I'm outraged.
Fool.
I am outraged.
You should be.
I am a fool. Now, if I called you a fool,
In the sense that this just has become one of those legendary, like, this is the example of why you would have this guy on your talk show and why he doesn't care. Courtney Thorne Smith is on Conan O'Brien with Norm. Norm was the first guest. And he's, unfortunately for her,
decided to stick around.
He stuck around on the couch for her interview, yes. And she's trying to promote her movie.
Who is she?
But what's the movie going to be called?
Well,
Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's there.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
His face after he does
Dude,
it.
He's delighted. Again, just perfect timing.
Yeah, that's the other thing you don't want to do, right? Is like just say Norm jokes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to like, yeah.
Although they are, it's funny. He's one of those guys where just saying his jokes, they are well written enough
Yes.
where it works.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the appeal too. That like, especially some of his jokes, you can just take and like